so we are starting, and first of all, of course, let's start with the XP. XP spending. Gustav van Hick, I don't know. What are you buying for your points?
I actually don't know what it is either. I go back and forth.
Wait,
That's
Brian. You sound really strange. Like something with your mic, maybe?
I'm in a new room.
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I go back and forth between Van Hook, Van Hoek.
I think it's Van Hoek, honestly. Since
Okay.
you're a quasi Netherlander. So, yeah, I mean, Marienburg is basically it's just Netherlands, you know.
Yeah.
Marla has 240 XP.
Mm-hmm. And you? What about your character?
I have 265. I will do
Those are two
one wound
advances, yeah. One wound, okay, and something else, or are you not sure?
And 5 fellowship.
Okay, plus 5% fellowship, sure. How much fellowship do you have now?
39.
Nice. That's respected. That's a respectable amount. Johannes, what about you? What are you buying?
I'm gonna ping pong back, and I think every session I'm gonna go between fellowship and intelligence. So I'm gonna ping pong back and add 5 to give myself 53 intelligence.
53 intelligence. Wow, that's a very high level for an old warder. Okay, 53 intelligence sounds good. Lambert, Cherry Heart, what about you?
Still working on it. Give me. I'll go after Andrew.
No problem. Gaston Leroux.
I only have 185.
So you have.
I was thinking,
Okay.
I was thinking either I would use it or just wait. I was thinking since I'm so dumb, maybe I should do something about maybe boost my intelligence a little bit.
Yeah.
Intelligence is good because
It's used for perception.
It does a lot. Yeah, it's used for
Right.
a lot of different things. Like your common knowledge, your
Yeah.
a lot of.
I mean, I'm
advanced-
33 right now, so
That's actually pretty good.
33 is human average.
Okay.
Humans in Warhammer 2nd edition, they have average of 30% everything. Elves have some stats of 40. Same with dwarves, of course. Dwarves have they have better toughness, better resilience, stuff like that. Elves are faster, of course. But humans are like jack of all trades, master of none. So 30% for a knight it's good. If you would be below 30, you would be dumb.
Okay.
Like you would be honestly. I'm not even sure if there are rules for stupidity in 2nd edition. I think there are, but I don't think that there's any correlation to the actual percentage and stupidity. So, for example, trolls have the stupidity trait, but you can have a troll with like 80% intelligence and he will still be stupid.
Right.
But
Yeah,
of
makes
course,
Dumb and full of,
yeah. But of course, Andrew, if you want, like Sean said, intelligence is very useful mainly for spotting things. I think.
Yeah, I think I'll do that because I've increased my weapon skill and strength and toughness and stuff already, so might as well do that.
So you have 38 intelligence right now, right?
Okay.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah. If you think about all your stats in terms of like batting average, 300 is a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If you think of all your stats in terms of the most boring sport in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gustav, you can spend Marla's XP however you want. Sorry, Brian. It's like
She's done all of her numerical stats, so she's down to skills and talents now, and she has some crazy stuff she could do. And she's not with us all the time, so I'm not sure.
Like I said, I think you can just give her whatever, honestly, because she's a camp follower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have lots of advancements.
We got gossip, animal care, or drive.
Gossip is
I
good.
think I was gonna say I feel like gossip would be something that definitely as a serving lady, that she would definitely improve.
She doesn't have
gossip.
charm or evaluate; those are important.
Charm definitely.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Either of those two. But I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like all definitely the charm and the gossip are things that she would definitely be getting in her current role.
Yep.
I think.
Sean's right.
Sleight of hand.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, she can also do that. That said, is she
Why are
really-
you being so meta though?
Yeah, that's it's really that that big of a thief, right? Charm and gossip definitely fit her very well.
Well, she has to take sleight of hand for Campfire at some point.
Yeah.
She could
Yeah, I'm just giving you shit. I don't care.
Yeah. There's a bunch of trades she can learn. There's 3 languages she can learn. Dealmaker or Street Fighter, Flee, Hardy or Suave, Resistance to Disease or Season Travel.
Hardy gives you bonuses, if I recall correctly, to toughness. Suave gives you bonuses to fellowship.
I
of
gotta
course.
look at my sheet because I think I've got both. Or I don't.
Well,
have
I thought she
Hardy.
already took Season Traveler because we had that.
Yeah,
discussion.
she has that.
Suave gives you 5 fellowship.
Yeah, and
Full
Flee,
headed. Yeah, Hardy is 5 toughness.
5 toughness exactly, and Flee only works when you run. When you're running, it doesn't give you a flat bonus to your speed. It only works when you are escaping from danger.
I can see her being suave. That's probably not the word I would use for it, but
when running away from combat or another dire threat, you gain a +1 bonus to your movement for 1d10 rounds. I used it when we were fighting that necromancer.
Yeah.
To hightail my ass away from that situation.
And
that's +5 fellowship to her natural fellowship, right?
Yeah. It gives a flat bonus to a stat.
Okay, so she's suave and she's what was the other one we did? Charm.
Yeah. And
suave and charm. That's
and
just
charm just
like.
means that she can, be charming on her full fellowship instead of half. So that's probably
Her career exits are charcoal burner, charlatan,
Oh boy, a charcoal
servant,
burner.
smuggler, spy, tradesman, or vagabond.
Hey, when I'm going to run you off from Altdorf, maybe should be a charcoal burner so that you'll be able to survive in the woods when the whole city will want to get
I
you.
learned from Lambert and the charlatan.
Lambert,
Do
you were
what?
saying something? Sorry.
Okay, I got a question,
Mhm.
and it's all about precedent here. I've been working with a lot of the pickpockets, like the kids and pickpockets of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be fair to say that in this time I may have picked up enough to pick up the secret language thieves' tongue?
Yeah, I would say that. Sure.
All right, that's
Mainly because I think that Lambert would also learn the basics or start learning the basics beforehand. Like,
yeah.
I have a feeling that that your character would probably have some kind of familiarity with that even before working with those kids. So sure, no problem.
Cool.
So secret
All right.
language thieves or secret science.
So, yeah, I'm taking thieves' tongue, and I'm taking the last advance for where was it? Willpower, which brings me up to a 43 willpower.
Okay, yeah, 43 willpower. Very nice.
I thought I had one more advance to go in intelligence, but I don't. I'm capped out at 57.
All right. So we can start. I think everyone just spent their XP, so I think we are good, right?
Oh, and my notes are up for 18 too.
Okay, thanks. Oh yeah, by the way, who's making notes today?
Me.
It's me. Or are you doing it now? I mean,
I thought.
I've only done it twice
Oh, really?
Okay, so you got your third time. Yeah.
because I missed that third session.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
So
alright,
you
okay,
can
go
do a
for it.
third time today, Michael. And
Okay, I'll do my third time today, and then you can have yours next time.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And
Thanks.
after today's session, you get the 30 XP bonus for
Hot.
notes.
Hot. That's
Hot.
probably going to push me into another career.
Yep.
Let's see what happens here.
All right. So last time in Altdorf, you guys got into all sorts of trouble. Well, I mean, not really, but there was a lot of talking. Lambert was mainly laying in bed in Shepherd's Wand, half catatonic. He was being what's the word? Consoled, right?
Yes, he has a milk mustache from breastfeeding.
Yes, from oh my fuck. Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, by Marla. Anyway, and the rest of you guys, I think you've met with the kids, right? Yeah, you've met with the kids, and they've told you about Gorina, Gorina
Right.
Akner, that she's traveling to the north side and northwest side of the city. She has a huge black coach, pulled by 4 equally black destriers. She has guards, also dressed in black, and the thing is, I mean, the kid's leader found it rather strange that the coach is obviously extremely expensive. It's like, it's not your shitty rickety card. It's like a nobleman's coach, but there is no heraldry at all. Like, no heraldic symbols, no names, nothing. That is rather unusual, according to Tijman Neuer, the kids' leader. Also, what else? What else happened? Oh yeah, Gustav was released from the prison, from the slammer, by paying his way out. Essentially, he just had to pay a lot of money because, let's face it, 10 gold crowns is a lot of money in the old world. And
Not worth it. Not worth it.
yeah, and the very friendly Captain Kunibald Klosterman told him, to get out and to never come back, or else. And he also insulted Marla, of course, but he's a misogynist, so that's rather normal. Marla also returned, and she looked bad. She got her nose broken, and after returning to the inn, Gustav and Johannes helped. They set the nose back, essentially, and it was not pretty. Gaston also did something. I think. Gaston, what were you doing exactly? I'm sorry, because it was like 2 weeks, and I really don't remember. I'm not taking a piss out of your character, Andrew. I just don't remember at all.
What I do? I mean, I was pretty much just hanging around. I mean, are you saying like when they set the nose or stuff like that?
Yeah. What were you?
I mean, I was bracing her to help. So
Okay. And also, I think. Oh yeah, and you went to the first inn, the.
oh yeah, that new place.
Yeah, to the Miller. Well, for
New
you,
to me.
New
Yeah.
new to you. Yeah, new to you.
I ain't seen it. It's new to me.
Yeah, and you've met with a sewer jack named Dayon Eman. Dayon said that that he's willing, of course, to help you for a price, for 2 shillings, because someone had a very good haggle roll. I think it was Sean.
Yeah, he paid us.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
he paid you, exactly. He paid you for working for you, so And he told you to meet him tomorrow at 4th bell at the Miller. And you also got you were also summoned to the Gold College at noon.
By Corbinian.
Yes, by Corbinian, and well, I mean, that was probably rather strange for you, because Corbinian Shrek is a member of the Jade Order, of the Jade College of Magic and Gold College. It's actually not far from here, you know that, but it's a completely different institution. So yeah. Oh, and finally, for as we end our recap, there are unrests all over the city, apparently fueled by the Crimson Shade. Simply put, people are starting fights, acting all mad-like. There already have been murders, but mostly for now it's just violent beatings, stuff like that. But all over the city, mostly in the poorer districts, the Crimson Shade epidemic is taking its toll. And I think it was the end of the day, right? Convince me if I'm wrong.
Here's
Yeah.
here's the
Yeah.
trick, man.
It's It's after sundown now.
Here's the trick, man. It's going to come out that Karl Franz was spreading crimson shade to destabilize a certain community
Of course.
and stabilize the halfling community. Racist fuck.
I mean, come on. It's
It's just Nixon, man. It's
yeah.
just Nixon. It's just the tricky Nick of the old world.
Tricky Carl. Nice. I like that nickname.
Sneaky Carl.
Sneaky Carl.
Sneaky Carl.
Sneaky
That
Carl.
just sounds like a sex thing, man.
It does. That's
I
why.
gave her the old Sneaky Carl.
Sneaky Carl from Rakeland. Okay.
The hot Carl. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the hot Carl. There you go.
gross. I love it. So you all meet back in your place, back in the Wand. Lambert stayed with Marla. Gaston, Gustav, and Johannes. All three of you. You return from the One-Eyed Miller. After discussing the plan with the he was a rat catcher. Daniel Elman is not a sewer jack; he's a rat catcher.
Right.
If I recall correctly. Or maybe he's
It's like a lateral move.
Yeah, maybe he's just a multi-classer, so maybe he also works as a sewer jack, even though he's a rat catcher. Doesn't really matter. And with his armor clanking, Gaston opens the door to the room in which he's not staying, actually, because he has his own room, given that he's a nobility. And you enter inside. You see that Marla is sitting at the table, and you think she probably practices her writing. She can read and write, but that doesn't mean that she's fully literate. And Lambert, you've been mostly sleeping through. You don't know for how long, but you weren't able to really move out of the bed for the last couple of hours, which seem like days, which seem like weeks. But eventually you hear the door to your room open, and you probably take a look back over your shoulder. You see Gaston, Johannes, and Gustav enter the room. It's already dark outside. Yeah.
I look over, but I don't say anything to him.
Yeah, all three of you, like I said before, you see. First, you see Marla just writing something next to a small candle. Sure. And Gustav and Gaston, because Johannes is just he had to bail you very quickly. The second thing you see is that Lambert just looked at you, but he's not saying anything. He looks bad, like he looks haggard, almost just
dark circles, all that jazz.
Yeah. He's just extremely pale, and the shades under his eyes, dark circles under his eyes. He also looks, of course, it's impossible in such a short amount of time, but he looks thin, or rather thinner. At least you think that he looks thinner. Yeah.
Hadn't eaten in a while.
That's true. That's actually true. But I don't think that, even though you're a halfling, I don't think that you have that big of an appetite right now. Maybe you do, of course. Maybe
We'll see soon.
You are at least slightly hungry.
Comfort food.
Oh no, I read all about WFRP halfling burial tradition. So we're getting there.
Okay.
Gotta make one big ass pie.
So, what are you guys going to do right now?
I'm going to stand in the doorway, assessing what everyone else is doing.
Okay. Gaston?
I'm going to tell Lambert that I'm sorry for his loss.
All right. Well, Gaston says nice words to you, Lambert. And honest words.
Just roll over in the bed and face away from him. Sullen little bitch.
Mm-hmm. Johannes, what about you? You are all back in the room.
I was gonna be flippant, but no, I won't. I won't be flippant. I don't really have anything to say. Just that you know, I understand the sorrow of losing a loved one, and leave it at that.
Try 30 of them.
God damn it! Are we dick measuring on how many people have died?
Why do I have to do? I don't have to measure shit with you, dickless.
Marla is like, Marla just looks at all of you. She's not saying anything, but you see that she also. Well, first of all, you see the the bandage on her face, right? The fact that she probably still has a huge headache from the hit delivered to her by the captain. But yeah, generally, especially you, Gaston. I mean, you've been with the group for a rather short time, but you feel the tension in the air the most, like the most of all. Not to mention that we ended our last session, and I would also like to remind you that when Gaston, Johannes, and Gustav, when you were coming back to the inn, you heard in the distance this, almost inhuman cry of rage, or rather, scream of rage, and you can guess pretty much, like, that it was connected to the drug problem ruining the city. So yeah.
We just heard that outside?
When you were returning from the miller, it was like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. Something like that.
Lambert's gonna get up and just sort of brush past them to go downstairs to the bar.
Mm-hmm. You go downstairs. When you close the door behind you, Mara looks at all of you once again, and she just sighs and says, "He's not in a good shape. And I'm worried."
Yeah, it's concerning. But
I mean, you know that what happened to him was a message to all of us, probably, right?
Of course. I mean, we've known. Unfortunately, we've known that the people that we're playing with are not nice people from the get-go. I mean, they almost killed Gustav, right? In the library, no less. So, I mean, I guess we should have. Hindsight is 2020. We should have. Smuggled the family out sooner.
I'm just looking at Marla as you're saying all that.
When you're looking at her, she makes this rather quizzical look, as if, what?
I shake my head. Don't say anything.
She rolls her eyes. She probably is slightly irritated, by all this, by all that's happening as well. So, all right. She says, "Look,
shouldn't take for this macho bullshit."
Yeah, those guys eat too much red meat." She's saying, like, "All right, look, I have work tomorrow here, so I'm not going anywhere, and I doubt that whoever is doing all those things, I don't think they will be stupid enough to raid a fully packed inn right next to a street of 100 taverns. So I think I'm good. As for you boys, well, you have," and she points at Gaston, "Sir LaRue here, and I'm sure that he's more than capable of dealing with anything nasty on the street."
Well, hopefully we won't have to put him in that position.
Yeah. Lambert, you're...
I hope that we do.
Yeah, it's like...
Killing's my business.
Gaston is just, banging his fingers on the pommel of his sword, right?
Right.
Yeah, I hope that we do. Nice. Meanwhile, Lambert, you are going downstairs. At this time, of course, the common room is full because the people are are catching their evening break, but you also notice that quite a few of the patrons look worried, and they like take nervous glances towards windows and the door. You see that also a few of them even have daggers placed on, and small cudgels placed on their tables, as if to be able to defend themselves on at a moment's notice. You guess that, well, I mean, you're not really sure, but you guess that this probably has something to do with all that's happening in the city. What are you doing, Lambert?
Going to the bar.
You see that Finron is nowhere to be seen, but there's the young bartender, of course.
I can't even remember his name.
I also can't remember his
That's-
name, so
That's great.
you know.
I just point I put let me see here real quick. Yeah.
I mean, just to be clear, there's more than one. They have shifts, but you don't really.
Yeah. Keep track of these people. I put 4 silver on the bar and say, "What's the strongest thing you have? Give it."
The kid, well, the boy, he's probably like 17 summers old, probably. Looks at the money, looks at you. Well, Sir Cherryheart, we have Aquavik, but according to Master Finron's wishes, you don't have to pay for your drinks and food.
The fuck is Aquavik?
Aquavit.
Aquavik. It's like vodka. It's very strong.
It's like
Yeah.
moonshine vodka, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the traditional recipe has a lot of caraway seed
Yeah.
in it.
I look him over. Is the barkeep carrying a weapon?
He has a small club. But you probably guess that, maybe he has a blunderbuss under the bar, maybe some kind of a flintlock, maybe a crossbow. It's rather normal in the inns, in the inns and taverns of the old world. I mean, bar brawls happen, right?
I just tell him, like, all right, give me a bottle, and I slide 2 of the silver shillings over, and just say, and get yourself something better than that fucking club. World's going to shit.
Of course, Sir Treyhard, thank you. And he says, he takes the coins. He also rummages under the bar for a few seconds, produces a slightly dusty but corked and waxed bottle which actually says Averland Aquavik and the name of the distillery, which doesn't mean anything to you, of course. He asks if you want a glass with that.
No need. I pick up the bottle, swing off the bar stool, and walk over to the fireplace.
All right, sure.
I've got in my trappings from the bag of tobacco that I had. I have taken to just rolling my own cigars.
Oh, right, sure.
So I thrust the cigar into the fire until it's lit, and I return upstairs.
Okay, you return upstairs. Meanwhile, Gustav, Johannes, Gaston. So I presume you're just sitting and chilling, right? Doing nothing. You see that after Marla said what she had to say, she just returns to her to her studies, probably to her just reading, writing studies. She's not giving you any attention at all. So unless you want to do something very specific, I presume that you're all just doing nothing at all.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've got a lot to do tomorrow, even though we don't have to be up early. But I'm pretty exhausted. This day's been stressful.
That's true. That's more than true.
I'll take first watch. I'm gonna go check on Lambert.
As you're saying this, the door opens and in walks Lambert. He has a lit cigar in his mouth. and he has this rather large clay bottle with a sign that's saying, for those of you who can read, because I don't think that Gaston can, it says Aquavik, and of course Gustav, Johannes, you all know what this means. Gaston, even though you probably can't read, you guess that this is some kind of very strong alcohol. There's this silence in the air, and you only hear the soft sound of burning tobacco leaves, as the flame eats them slowly.
Lambert pops the cork off the bottle and takes a big swig. Do I need to roll consume alcohol for this?
My question is, do you want to get hammered?
I don't want to get hammered. I want to take a big ass swig though.
No.
You want to feel it, right?
No, you. For now, you don't. You open the bottle, you uncork the bottle, and you can all just smell very strong.
Visible evaporation above it.
Yeah, you can all just smell this very strong alcoholic, but also slightly herbal, perhaps, smell coming from the bottle. But it's clear that this is strong stuff, very strong stuff. And Lambert just takes a huge swig of this thing. Lambert, you can feel the hot, just almost scalding hot alcohol going down your throat. You can of course taste the caraway seeds. Your eyes water slightly. You hold back a loud cough. But even so, it's like.
I hand the bottle to Gustav.
I'll take a swig too.
It's extremely strong. Like this is like a
Lambert,
moonshine.
Lambert nods over at Johannes.
I pass it to him.
I take a swig.
Mm-hmm. Again, Johannes, you feel like you're drinking molten metal, albeit rather.
And I nod until everyone has taken a swig from the bottle.
Mm-hmm. Everyone takes, even Marla gets up from the table, and she takes a moderate swig, but she coughs like.
I put it down on the table
Mm-hmm.
after they've all taken a swig, and I put my hands down. I've still got the cigar in my mouth. I take it out and I just go, I lost all of my family in the city. I don't want to lose my family here. I don't want to escape this. I want blood.
We'll make them pay for what they did.
Definitely.
Then that's all there is to it. Where is my money? Like my share of the money.
I'm gonna go over to the loose
like
floorboard.
You guys told me I had money here. Like this is all in character. You guys told me I had money here. Wait. Am I missing something?
No. My character probably knows where the money is. I do not.
I think that your money was hidden under the floorboards. If I remember.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what I did is I have a parenthetical in my money, so that how much I have on me is outside the parentheses, and then how much I stashed is 50.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I was tracking it. And I know we talked about me holding all the money, but what I've forgotten, and I need to go back and listen or transcribe or whatever is I feel like the 50 is that's just mine, because I feel like we got a ton of money at one point. And
we all had like 50, 55.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except Lambert had a little less.
You guys
think
were
he had
really
like
rich. Yeah.
Yeah. But so if you don't know how much you collectively stuck in the hole. We can back calculate it at some point. I can just
You don't
give
have to back calculate. Like, this is all in character. You don't have to back calculate it. I was only walking around with like 10 gold.
Okay.
I don't need a whole lot. Just like, if you can get me back up to like 15 gold, that's fine. I got some purchases I gotta make.
Okay. Well, yeah. Here, I go into my stash because I know where it is.
Okay.
And I say, here, we'll consider this an interest-free loan for now.
Mara looks at you, Lambert, and she asks, Lambert, what are you planning to do?
As far as I know, Marla, there's no way that I can take a Slayer oath.
Her eyes just, they get wide because she remembers, of course, you saw Lun Thundercoat, the Slayer, who helped you with the Necromancer.
And I like taking baths too much. So I can't be a smelly piece of shit. But what I can do is raise absolute fucking hell on the people responsible for the deaths of my family.
Here's 15 gold and if you need more, let me know. And we'll figure out what happened to your portion of the payments.
I think we put his money in the floorboard, and I think he had like 35.
Right. Well, I'm just saying because for now I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out between sessions.
He was absent the session we got paid.
Yeah.
So like I think that's what I did when I found the floorboard. I just put everybody's money in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everybody knows where it is. Like at this point, it's not a secret unless for people outside the party, we don't want them knowing.
Yeah. No, it's cool. But I mean, just for accounting purposes, I'm gonna give him 15 of mine for now, and then we'll figure it out later.
Do we know where they are?
Yeah,
do we know where?
Go on, Mike. Mm-hmm.
Do we know where they're at? Do we know who did it? Have we figured out any of this shit?
Well, no. So that's the thing is we don't have any specifics on who did it. We just assume it's the fuckers in the silver masks.
Like the ones that me and Gaston saw over at the Golden Triangle.
Correct.
Cool. That's a building I can get rid of, right?
Well, we are looking at that possibility, yes, but
yeah. We just get in underneath it in the sewer, and we just blow it to fucking hell.
Yeah, that's one thing we could do, but we need. I think that cutting the head off the snake is also a good idea, and that's where this Arena chick comes in. There's something fishy about her, and I forgot to tell you that I tried to cut a deal with the kid spies. I've forgotten the kid's name already.
Tijman. Tijman Neuer.
Tijman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he we cut a deal. I told him don't endanger yourself or any of your people, but we need to pin down a little better where she's going so we can find her. And I mean, I'm all for blowing up, these dickheads for sure, but I think we need to deal with her as well, because I think if we blow up all these dickheads, she'll just get another bunch of dickheads and repeat, rinse and repeat.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying. I have no problem. Well, we need to figure out what's going on with the go to the Gold College and then get our way into the. But are you looking for
what's it, gold?
No, the Jade College guy contacted us and told us to meet him at the Gold College
tomorrow at noon.
So you have time to buy napalm or whatever it is that you want.
No, it's
Nafta.
here's the thing. I'm thinking too much for this. All right.
Okay.
All you gotta do is stab a couple people, right?
Well, I mean, I sort of feel like all we really need to do is sick our stevedore friends on them.
And I still have the Verena people been around?
No,
They haven't come back.
They haven't come back to you. No.
Well, that's nice. Because they might come. And I still have no idea what the fuck's going on with this witchfinder you got.
Right, that's stevedore's code word for them. Because I was getting in trouble for saying the other thing.
Okay, I thought you know. Yeah, I think after we meet with the rat catcher tomorrow, with whatever information we get, we should go to the stevedore's agent.
Mhm.
We have an address on her that's good for 3 days.
Yeah, true.
Mm,
Cutting off the head of the snake is fine. I imagine the witchfinder will want to burn the whole damn serpent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I think I think our best bet.
I agree with the witch hunter here.
Our best bet is to utilize the tools we have.
Gaston, you're saying anything? You're adding anything, or just listening?
Just listening for now,
Okay.
because a lot of this is all new, or some of it's new info for me. So
Lambert, I don't think you also knew about or did you knew about the plan to contact a sewer
didn't.
jack?
Oh, I knew about the sewer jack plan.
Okay.
I didn't know about how. I thought when they had mentioned that they had been in contact with a agent of a witch hunter, I thought they meant like they were in contact with the witch hunter.
No. Well, I mean, we originally were in contact with the witch hunter, and then one of his team is the one that caught us outside the Golden Triangle.
Gotcha.
Or specifically caught Gustav.
I'm gonna grab Lambert's tobacco pouch and try rolling a stogie of my own, but I don't know how to do it.
You open it and there's like 4 pre-rolled in there.
I was gonna say, Lambert slaps his hand and then says, "Let me get my double album."
I'm gonna grab one with crossed fingers.
Let me get my
and a wink.
remix of gin and juice, guys.
Or sorry, are you guys too young for the using the album, the crease in the double album thing to help you roll your joint?
I think I am.
I think you are too.
I'm 34 years old. I think I am.
Yeah.
Lambert, do you smoke good quality tobaccos, or are they?
I'm
cigars, but or are they whatever?
I eat good quality food. I cook good quality food. Of course, I'm gonna drink high costed fucking potato booze and smoke the best damn leaf I can find.
Sure. Okay.
Phillies blunts.
Yeah.
well, in that case, I asked Lambert if I can have a cigar.
You don't even need to ask, bud. Just take one.
Gustav doesn't smoke,
like
so
I
I'm probably
said,
coughing.
I already lost my blood relatives. I'm not losing my family.
That's some fine Vin Diesel quote right there. I approve.
Yeah, it's all about family.
Family. Yeah. Yeah. So Gaston, Gustav, you take a cigar each, and the leaf is of a very decent quality. It's actually good stuff. It also goes rather well with the Aquavik. Marla just when you were actually she didn't say anything when you were talking about blowing things up, when blowing the building up. But you can see that she is also rather nervous and slightly unsettled by all of this. And she says,
I was glossy-eyed when he was saying that.
Yeah, and she says, all right, look, Lambert, I want to get those fuckers who did that as well. I really am. But we need to tread carefully here. For all we know, those people have connections to the nobility. You know what will happen to us if we even scratch a noble person from the Empire. Harming a nobleman is a crime punishable by law.
Harming anybody is
punishable by death. Sorry, punishable by law.
Oh.
Punishable by death. And actually, that's true. All of you, without even rolling, even you, Gaston, you know, though you are a foreigner, in the old world, the nobility, you know, they can hurt each other, but a commoner doing something bad to a noble person or an aristocrat, it means a noose or a chopping block.
Does Garina have any rival houses?
Well, but we don't even know if Garina. Who is she? I mean, like, this woman is a ghost. She travels in a carriage without a crest. She's slamming with some poor students at the university, and then she's visiting some places near northern and northwestern wall of Altdorf. Like, who is she anyway? Like,
that's the dig. We have to figure out who the fuck she is, and then figure out what rival houses there are. I don't want to get caught up in the bullshit of the nobility. I'd rather just expose one of them as being a fucking heretic and see their whole fucking line burn.
Sounds good.
Ideally, if that would work, yeah.
I think I would leave the room.
What?
I think Gustav would go downstairs.
Yeah, Gustav leaves the room. Like, you don't know what that's all about. You know, even Marla comments like, what is his problem? I swear.
Like, Gustav?
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe he's squeamish.
we already faced a necromancer.
Yeah, the thing about a necromancer is they don't have a lot of blood. I walked into a fucking bathhouse of blood. I'm not happy about it.
I understand.
I'm gonna remember the things I saw for the rest of my fucking life, which hopefully won't be that long after we get this shit done.
And she says quietly, I only smelled the death near the house. Right before that fucking bastard broke my nose. The smell was enough. It was horrible.
Did you catch that bastard's name?
Captain Cooney Bolt something, I don't know.
You see, like, you just see Lambert take out a scrap of paper and start scratching down that name.
Gustav said something to him and he struck him down, and so I ran to his aid, Gustav's aid of course, not Captain's, and he, well, bitch slapped me. How appropriate.
I told you to stay.
Yes, I remember. She told me to stay. She says in a rather sharp voice, but you see that she, like after a split second, she returns to normal and says, "I'm sorry, Sir Larue. I didn't mean that. Didn't mean to be rude."
I'm not thinking clearly. I've had 2 days of sitting in bed and being a lonesome, depressed little shit. If you will excuse me, I'm going to take that bottle and the rest of my tobacco. I'm going to go downstairs into the kitchen, and I'm going to punch a bag of flour for the rest of my night until I fall asleep.
Sure.
You can collect me down there. I'll probably be sleeping on the potatoes. That's probably the softest thing I'll be able to find.
Yeah, going to sleep is a good idea. I have an early shift tomorrow, says Marla. So I bid you gentlemen for a night. And she, crawls into her and Gustav's bed.
And that wasn't me being like poetic or anything. That's what Lambert's actually going to go do.
All right.
To try and work out some of this aggression.
Yeah. Sure thing. So you take tobacco, you take the bottle, you go downstairs. Johannes, I presume that you also go to your bed to sleep.
Yes.
Mhm. And Gaston, you probably go to your single room to also catch some rest. You are fairly tired after today.
Yes.
Right. Gustav, what about you? You went down. Is there anything specific you're doing?
Grab a beer and go outside.
All right. You grab a mug of beer.
Smoke my stogie.
You push past all the patrons. You go outside. There's the night is warm. The people are outside. Of course, are sitting at the rickety wooden tables, mainly most of them made from old ale casks. You don't even need to roll anything. You just hear many of them, speaking quietly to each other. And there's they speak in hushed nervous tones, most of them, talking about all those crazies, drugged crazies running through the streets. There apparently have been reports of even burning houses in the eastern districts. Fires started by the Crimson Shade addicts who just lost complete control and turned to arson. There have even supposedly been rumors about Crimson Shade, users attacking guard patrols in certain parts of the city. They and this is very this is unprecedented. Normally the watch is not attacked outright, but in this case, even the city guards, have been under threat. And you can see, Gustav, that many of the people sitting outside, they steal nervous glances towards the shadowy parts of nearby alleys, and they have their weapons close to them. Even though they try to enjoy the night and drink their sorrows and worries away, the atmosphere is just nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just leaning in the doorway, ready to run back in if something happens.
Yeah, you're this is the classic shot of a lit up tavern or inn doorway. A single man leans against the frame, ale mug in hand, and outside there's darkness, Altdorf night. Lambert, you go downstairs with the bottle and the stoogie. You go into the kitchen and just take out your frustration on a sack of flour. No one says anything. They leave you alone. They give you a white breath.
Start just go to shirtless Lambert pounding a bag of powdered flour.
It's like 80s montage.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you're just
Rocky.
Yeah, you're just hitting the sack. All right, that sounds bad. You're just working out your frustration on the poor hapless sack of flour for good few hours, smoking the cigar until it's no longer there, drinking the alcohol until it's no longer there. Eventually you just practically fall down where you stood, and the inn staff was very kind, and of course you don't know that right now because you're practically out, but they carried you to your room. Yeah, and put you in your bed back when all the other members of your party were sound asleep. And so, after a good few hours of sleep, some of you slept well, some others not so much. Gustav, I presume that you returned after some time to your room, right?
Actually, no. I will get another mug of beer,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will fall asleep at a table.
At a table.
And I know I won't get a good rest, a good night's rest from that, but
Okay, sure.
I'll wake up if something happens at least.
All right, so you go to sleep at the table. Right. So what I would like for you to do, Gustav, is to roll me toughness test. Basic. And let's see how you. I think you've passed, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so sleeping at the table was very uncomfortable, but at the same time you were so tired and just so exhausted that you just even from from sleeping in this very uncomfortable position, you still got some rest. Lambert, I would also like for you to roll me toughness test with a -5% modifier. Nice.
Eat a dick.
Yeah, apparently I should because after a whole night
That
of
was the best night of rest I got.
yeah after like punching a flower back for a good few hours, drinking probably the strongest stuff that they have in Shepherd's Wand, and after what happened to you, you still wake
Slayer
up.
would be proud.
Yeah, you still wake up without even a slight hangover. You're actually
He sweated it all out.
Yeah, you're actually pretty energized. You feel rather well.
I need a dozen eggs. I need a dozen sausages. I need a big ass thing of bread, and I need a big ass pitcher of beer.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a big day.
And even Marla actually rolled rather well for her, for her sleep with the broken nose and all things. So, the whole squad meets downstairs, I presume, at one of the tables, ordering some breakfast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So of course, Gaston, when you go downstairs from your room, you see that both the patrons and the staff, as is customary, they bow down to you and move out of your way. You're already known in this establishment that a mighty Bretonnian knight is staying here, and naturally they are treating you with all the dignity that you deserve. And you see that the rest of your comrades, friends, however you want to call them, they sit at a large table near one of the side walls of the inn. It's relatively far away from the entrance. They've already ordered something good to eat. So Gustav, you were given spicy beet pie for breakfast. Johannes, you got yourself hen legs basted with vinegar.
Ooh.
Actually, sounds very good.
Yeah.
And Lambert, you got lamb chops with sliced apples.
I'll take it.
And finally, Gaston, when you sat at the table right next to your friends, a young waitress brought you onion pie. But of course, like it's not just onions inside. There's also meat. There are some herbs, and you all wash it down with. Well, actually,
it's the old world equivalent of a bloomin' onion.
Yeah. You all wash it down
Sounds fancy.
with thin, almost barely alcoholic beer. But I presume, Gaston, that you would like to order something else because you're a Bretonnian.
Right. I'll have the diluted wine as usual, since it's not Grail Day.
Mm-hmm. In that case, of course, the young girl, bows very low to you and says, "Oh, of course, Sir Knight, I will bring it right to you. Excuse me," and she runs away, blushing heavily.
Oh, you silver-tongued fucks! All right. Last night was a one-off, guys. I hate that you had to see me that fucking bloodthirsty, but I have a thing. I have something to say here. What's getting stabbed sucks. What's more annoying, a knife wound or a hangover that doesn't go away? Correct.
It's
It was
a
a
riddle?
rhetorical question. It's the hangover. We find out where they're at. When we find out who it is. And we do everything in our powers to make their fucking situation a living nightmare. I
Or I
mean
could just
this.
chop their
I
head
mean
off.
this for. I mean, if you want to go that route, yes, and I'm not going to stop you. That's your thing, man. And I love it. You fucking rock shithouse at that shit. And I feel like we've been, good working relationship long enough that I can say these words in front of you. Then again, I don't really give a shit. But is there a way to get onto the roof of the Golden Triangle?
You're asking me, or
I'm asking my compatriots.
okay?
They had a better view of the actual building. We were inside it.
Yeah, I don't know. the answer
Gustav
to that.
and Johannes roll intelligence. That's what intelligence is for, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Wink.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
Gustav, you have no idea, mainly because you can't shake the feeling that Marla is looking at you with slight irritation in her eyes, like not hostile like, but you guess that you're going to get a talk soon. Johannes, you meanwhile,
I avoid eye contact.
yeah. Johannes, you meanwhile remember that it probably would be possible to get onto the roof of Golden Triangle if you would have a rope and what's the word? Rope and the hook. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, grappling hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grappling hook.
Okay.
and
Climbing up from the street is extremely. I mean, is it not
you
close
can
to other
climb from the
buildings?
street. You can climb from the street because the building itself is located behind a very high wall. So you would have to enter the premises and then you would have to climb to the top. And the Golden Triangle is one of the tallest buildings that you've seen there. All the nearby buildings are actually shorter than this one.
All right.
It was fortified. There's no climbing
sitting,
it.
Yeah.
It's sitting right at the wall, right?
I mean, it's
You could walk around it.
yeah. You have like a garden around it. You know, like a green space around the main building, and then
They don't patrol the actual garden though. They just patrol the walls of the thing, right?
No. Let me quickly.
If somebody has like a floor like a top down, that'd be rad.
Yeah. Under the Altdorf map, I'm just drawing this.
Okay,
So yeah, sorry for the quality.
that's that front gate.
Yeah, this is the
what you're-
front gate. This here is the like booth.
This is the all outer wall, right?
The wall is this is the wall, right? This, and there's a space between the wall and the building itself, and it is patrolled. Like you said, it's no garden per se. There are like shrubs here and there, but
Is there a building? Is there a building close enough to this building? Like, is there a building?
Yeah,
like,
the
close
next,
by?
the wall separating the next building is right here.
All right, that building.
Same here.
What's the roof access look like for that?
Oh, for the building to the left and to the right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually Johannes. You had a pretty good roll. It probably would be possible to enter the roof of the buildings to the left and to the right, but they are also behind walls, because in the Empire, most noble residences, and even the residences of rich merchants and rich town folks are walled for security and because people are pretentious, of course. Not to mention that the buildings are smaller, and as Gustav said, the Golden Triangle looks almost like a fortified manor.
So
Yeah. So
here's where that leads me to. If I hire the services, well, no, let me think. Gaston, how much weight can you throw and how far? Let's go outside with a sack of potatoes real quick. I'm serious about this. You guys can carry on your conversation. I'm gonna load up a sack of potatoes, like 20 potatoes, about.
This is why we talked to
15
the rat
pounds.
catcher though, so we can get potentially going from underneath.
I'm gonna. This will lead to the rat catcher. 15 pounds of potatoes, and I just want to see how far he can sling it. Don't worry, I'll pay for the potatoes. We're not getting them back.
What do you want me to roll?
I want you to throw it.
So so when the girl returns with your watered down wine, Lambert, I presume that you ask her for the sack of potatoes, right?
I need a sack of 15 potatoes, and me and Gaston are gonna go outside.
She goes wide-eyed and says, "I will ask in the kitchen. Please wait for a second." And she quickly runs to the kitchen. She returns with the sack of potatoes after literally 2 minutes. She actually
I'd take it from her.
Yeah, she actually carries it in a rather comical way. It's clear, like, the girl is very young and she's very frail. So, the sack is practically obscuring her entire frame as she carries it, walking like a duck, with this rather funny...
I just pull a handful
way.
of the 200 fucking pennies that I have.
Yeah.
I just pull a handful and hand them to her. You did a good job.
Thank you. And, Gaston and Lambert, you take the sack of potatoes and you march out of the inn, leaving Johannes, Gustav, and Marla at the table.
I'm just wondering what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, just finishing your meal.
I'm a little concerned about him.
Or you don't say, says Marla, and her tone icy, actually.
It'll be fine.
Johannes, can you leave us for a second? She says.
Yes, someone just called my name.
Yeah, I think so. By the way, she asks you, did you send the letter to the...
Slate gets up. Oh, hey guys, wait up.
Did you send the letter to the lovely... to the Stallers?
That's a good question. I thought I did, but
Yeah.
but I could do that right now.
Yeah. I think you did. I think you've paid someone, right?
Okay.
To send the letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I'll go see the progress of that.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. She says.
Man, she's so fucking pissed.
Yeah. Johannes,
Everything's fine.
Johannes,
I'm fine.
You get up and you just run away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mar looks at you, Gustav.
I'm looking at my food.
Anywhere but her.
Can you at least look me in the eye? She asks.
I'm gonna turn and look at her. Look, I've been thinking.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, this is actually not good.
She puts a single finger in the air. Just so we are clear, before you say anything, think twice. So you may not regret it later.
So when I was sitting in the cell, I was trying to think of a way out, and I realized I already had a way out, and that you were not in the cell next to me, being tortured or whatever. That was the one relief I had, because if you were, I would have told them anything they wanted to know, and would have compromised everybody. And that's what my concern is.
Mm-hmm. She says. You see, when you look at her, you see that she's looking at you not with this semi-hostility, eyes in her eyes, but she looks sad and rather disappointed.
You did exactly what you were supposed to do. I just never thought of this as a possibility when I first met you.
Sure. So you're thinking about, what you're saying right now. After you attacked some asshole guard captain or whatever, but we didn't have this talk after the necromancer, and of course she says that in a whisper because saying necromancer out loud in an inn is a very bad idea, right? You didn't have these thoughts back then when we were literally fighting against those abominations, living dead or whatever the fuck they're called, right?
No.
And let me ask you this. If, for example, it would be Johannes who would come to your aid, if it would be Johannes who, rushed that captain man and got hit by him and got, as you very eloquently put it, locked in a cell right next to you and tortured, would you be also saying those things to him? Or to Lambert? Or to Gaston?
Well, I think it's different
Or
with
are you
us.
saying those things to me because I'm a woman and I have a snatch instead of a fucking cock?
Ooh, I'm glad I went outside.
What? You think that I'm some fucking damsel in distress? Is that it?
There is
Yeah?
no good answer to these questions.
That I need protection from you. Or maybe you're saying this, I don't know, maybe you feel insecure because of the knight. You don't have to worry about him. If that's your concern.
No, it's not. But
Gustav,
you mentioned
Gustav.
he's a far better catch than I am.
Gustav,
He comes from nobility.
Gustav, I don't want nobility. I don't want a high castle and a pass and an honor guard of 12 squires or whatever they have. I don't even know. I've made my choice, she says, and she actually very slowly puts her hand on top of yours. I've made my choice. If I would run, if I would say no, I would do that after that necromancer. And whatever it is that we are facing against right now, it's not like I'm glad that I'm part of it, of course. This is a very bad choice of words. But I'm not going away. And I'm honestly disappointed that you think that I need protection.
It's not so much that, it's that I
I've
think
lived on the streets
We-
for the last 10 years. You have no idea the amount of scum that I had to deal with, that I had to do things with. Like, you don't know what I went through, Gustav, and I'm sorry, but this white knighting shit that you're doing is just insulting to both of us. I don't need that. I just let this go. We can work this out. She says,
maybe down the road.
yeah, trust me, if a situation calls for it, if I think that I have enough, I will tell you that. And I won't tell you that by not staying, in our bed for the night and pretend and avoiding your gaze.
So is she trying to charm me?
No, she's trying to tell you that you're a fucking idiot.
Okay.
She's pissed, bro.
She's pissed, but you see that she also cares. Alright? She's waiting for your answer, and you know that she's waiting for a solid, concrete answer.
I think I have more clarity and could be a better help to everyone, including you, if we weren't as close.
Oh, snap.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Friend zone.
She takes her hand away.
I'm sorry.
She just, shakes her head slowly and
It's
sadly.
it's you. It's not me.
Yeah. She just gets up
What the fuck?
without saying anything, and she just walks behind the bar and into the kitchen, starting her shift. Actually, let me quickly roll one thing.
Say, I did not see this coming.
You are you are so glad that none of the patrons around you caught on what you were talking about. Because, you quickly, looked up, but you see that no one is looking at you with... Well, you could imagine the looks, probably. But, yeah, people are just, too busy with their food and their drink.
I'm just gonna throw my handkerchief on my plate with the food still on it and just walk outside and stand
Yeah,
in the doorway again.
yeah. Let's take a 5-minute break.
Sounds good.
All right. Everybody has to recover from the drama.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. I was muted. Yeah, I did not see that coming. To be honest,
Really?
and not at all.
I thought it was the Batman thing to do.
Yeah. It'll get really interesting when you find a new chick.
I haven't played single for a while. They push her off on the Gaston.
Oh shit.
She's a useful
Not me.
part of the party.
Not me.
What?
Like how meanwhile Lambert and Gaston are out in the street throwing potatoes.
I thought it was sacks of potatoes.
Yeah, it's a whole bag of potatoes, guys.
He's doing like a strongest man thing, and potatoes was what he came up with.
Exactly. It's going to be like a Rocky montage. Lambert's my trainer. We're getting ready.
No, we're having the full homoerotic montage. The whole
Yeah,
Carl,
exactly.
the whole Carl Weathers stick.
It's like it's like twins or something.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm trying to eat, so I'm going to mute myself, but I'm listening.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you want to hear me chewing, so.
It adds to the sounds of the game.
Right.
Because we are eating breakfast in game, so. Or we were. Oh, fuck.
Somebody ruined it.
I'm here. Everyone's here. Sorry.
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just finishing up some food.
No worries.
So.
Yeah, I also had a quick bite.
Got a whole bag of Snyder pretzels. Let's do this.
All right.
Gaston and Lambert, you went outside, and you're practicing with the sack. So Gaston, I think you should probably roll. Let's say that you should roll 3 strength tests, basic,
All right.
without any modifiers. And I presume, Lambert, that you want him to throw the sack as far as he can.
As far as he can.
Okay. That's a botch, and you probably want to
All right.
reroll that.
You said 2 more times, right?
I mean,
You smashed a fruit stand.
Oh my god, no!
Like how he's in full plate
I
now,
got the
too.
knight killed by a sack of spuds.
I was gonna say he throws it straight in an old lady's face and kills her.
no, I mean, it looked like that. You threw the sack as far as possible, but you didn't saw an open sewer grate, and the sack landed in such a way that it simply burst over the open sewer entrance, and the entire all of the spots, they just flew inside the sewer, and you hear this splash as 50 kilos or pounds or whatever of potatoes land in shit-filled sewer water. Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, shit.
how far did that go?
I don't know. I can't.
The thing is not that far because he botched. He would be able probably to throw it further, but Gaston simply misjudged the distance, and maybe even he slipped slightly. You don't know, and the sack just landed way closer over the open sewer. Yeah, and of course, there are laughter. There's laughter from nearby folk who are passing by.
In a very common gesture among Longshanks, where you would clasp your hand on their shoulder and be like, "It's all right." I try to do that, but end up slapping Gaston on the ass and just say, You know what? That's actually pretty good. Let's work with that.
Yeah. So, you guys doing anything else?
We're gonna come back into the tavern.
Mm-hmm. As you go into the tavern, Johannes, tell me, do you exit the tavern after you were asked by Marla, or were you going upstairs?
No, I was going outside to get some fresh air and to be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not me.
So, as Lambert and Gaston, as you return, you see that Johannes is standing with this rather sheepish look outside the doors leading to the tavern, just catching some, well, let's face it, it's Altdorf, so not so fresh air, but still probably, Johannes, it's better than what was left inside, right? Yeah, but Lambert and Gaston, you can see that Johannes is not looking too hot.
What's going on, bud?
Marla was giving it to giving the business to Gustav, and I didn't want to be. Well, she asked me to leave, but I also did not want to be there for that.
Lambert just sort of pokes his head in the door to see if they're still at the table.
No, you actually see that there are still, empty plates, including one covered by a handkerchief, but no one is left at the table.
Well, either they are done with giving the business, or they're getting to the business. So I'm going to say steer clear of there. In fact, it's great that you're out here. You can help me. When's that rat catcher supposed to show up, or are we meeting him?
4th bell today.
Yeah, we're meeting him later this afternoon at the Miller.
Yeah, 4th evening bell. So 4 p.m. in our,
All right.
in our terms.
I have some shopping to do. Do you want to come with me? You all,
yes.
I look up at you and I look up at Gaston. I'm like, you guys look like perfectly decent members of public society. How would you like to help me get up to some public indecency?
Why not?
To be fair, I would like to not be arrested.
Oh no! We're just going shopping right now. You don't have to help. I need Gaston for his big, strong, manly arms. You don't have those.
No.
Yeah, I need him for his big, strong, manly arms to be able to throw things over a wall.
Okay.
Maybe I can finally do my dooming.
I need, let's see, 8 large flour sacks, just the sacks, and I need as much almost spoiled food as we can get. Probably about 1 whole flour sack full.
Okay.
All right. Who's getting what?
Well, I guess I can assist you in gathering the.
How's it going with your sling training?
All right, I guess. I mean, I feel like I can sling things.
Congrats! You're going to be helping out. You're going to be helping out with this bullshit.
Okay.
All right. And Gaston, I'm not going to ask you to remove your armor when we go do this, but I am going to ask you to put something over it.
Like
I think we should go to
like
the
a
butcher
poncho.
shop
Yeah.
and get all the bits that are just trash. Although I guess maybe in the Middle Ages they didn't have that much trash.
Is there not a dump out back of the inn?
That's good. Oh.
Yeah, they actually
Got
are.
a good idea.
In the gutters and behind buildings, stuff like that. Sometimes they're even dumped into the river, although technically that is illegal. So,
Yeah, but we threw bodies in the river, so whatever.
Yeah, but no one knew that you did that.
Yes, it's only illegal when you get caught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So here's the plan. And I'm just going to lay it out here. And I look around. There's some people at a table next to us, so I just give them a mean look, and we move further down.
Yeah, sure. Truth be told, they're not really paying you any attention. Honestly, they
I
are
wanna
too
s-
busy with their drinks and food.
I want to stir up trouble so that security is really fucked at the Golden Triangle. So that they're taking more chances, so that they have to spend more money, and so that there's enough of a situation at the Golden Triangle that whatever business they're doing related to this distribution of shade is disrupted by our bullshit. We're going to meet with a rat catcher. I want to see if he can get some of his rat catcher buddies, and I want to buy his rats. I want to stuff those rats into sacks. I want you and me to sling rotten food into the Golden Triangle's walls, and I want Gaston here to toss bags of rats over the wall.
Sounds good.
I could do that.
It sounds very chivalrous.
That creates enough. That creates enough of a situation that they will no doubt have to bring in outside rat catchers to do the job. We can then have somebody, not me and not Gaston, Gustav or you, Johannes, have one of us masquerade as a rat catcher.
I'm not here yet.
No.
Okay, well,
Gustav is not here.
all right, well, whatever. Having Gustav or you, Johannes, masquerade as a rat catcher to go in and do the poking around that we were unable to do under the guise of being a rat catcher.
Yeah, that might work.
Does that work, or am I kind of... I thought about this a lot. I mean, this is better than just like straight... And I say it pretty loud. This is better than just like straight up murdering people.
Well,
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
I don't know about that, but I'll go along with it.
He's the coolest Bretonian knight ever.
Dude, like, if they
Hey,
had
I'm telling you,
some
I can actually do my
Barrow.
dooming this time, so
Buy the lady.
I can go crazy.
Get up some public indecency. Also, I mean, we can do the standards. I was thinking, like, if we could get on the roof, we would just pour rats into their chimney, and then they would end up with one, a bad smell, and rats in the house. But we can always just find out who's a member of this place and just set up advertisements that they're open to getting, pegged or some shit, and send those to every brothel in town that they're gonna pay high coin for it. Or it's the equivalent of ordering a bunch of food from a tavern and having it sent to somebody's house.
That's a good idea too. I need 500 pizza.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Equivalent of ordering 100 pizzas to someone's house. Yeah. All right. So you guys are discussing this. Meanwhile, Gustav, what are you doing as this whole thing happens?
I'm gonna get my money from out the floorboards, I guess.
No worries. We have any problems. And
head outside.
okay, and as
Just
you head
waiting for him.
outside, you see your friends talking.
See us just giggling.
Yeah, relatively nearby, not right next to the door, but nearby. And guys, without even rolling, you also see Gustav emerging from the tavern, from the inn. Gustav, what kind of look on your face you have right now?
Unamused.
Slightly amused.
One of you should go check on her.
I'll go. Remember, I need flour sacks, I need rotten food, and I need rats. And I walk into the tavern.
I'm looking at Gaston and Johannes like, is he serious?
Yes,
Hey.
he's 100% serious.
I ask what
Somebody
the plan
back me
is.
up. Somebody back me up. Somebody back me up.
Apparently we're going to bombard them with rotten food and rats, and then go in as rat catchers. Or did I get that wrong?
No, that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's
Let's
how we're
say-
going to gain access.
Gaston? Sorry,
That-
Gustav?
That's asinine, but that's something I would have done back in Marienburg.
Ah! Yes!
I ran with a youth gang called the Rat Kings. It was a minor cult
What
of.
a horrible name.
Everything was rat themed. Luckily, I never got any tattoos that I had to live with for the rest of my life, but
Yeah. So I guess that Johannes, Gustav, and Gaston, are you remember that in a few hours, like in probably less than a few hours, you have a meeting at the Gold College.
Is the Gold College near, or is it super far away from the Golden Triangle?
It's far away.
You need to roll to know where.
it's
where
close to where we are right now, though.
I mean, you know that as a player, but you don't know that as a character.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean I'm asking them. I guess is what I'm saying, but I still need to roll
Mm-hmm.
for that. Okay. What do you need me to roll? Intelligence?
You need to roll Common Knowledge Empire, minus 10% for you, Gaston. Gustav, minus 10% for you as well. Johannes, you can roll on your normal Knowledge Empire.
Okay.
Is that under the advanced skills?
Yeah, knowledges are
Okay, I think I
advanced.
know which one it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is the right one.
Gaston has
Holy
a bot.
shit! Holy shit!
You
It's not my day
That's
today.
3 in a row!
You want to reroll that, Gaston?
Not really. I'm just so dumb.
All right. Gaston, you are sure that the Gold College is obviously located in the city's treasury because there's lots of gold there. So naturally, the Gold College has to be located there, where the money is at, right? Gustav, you know that actually Gold College is located very close, very close to the university, and actually to the Jade College itself, and it's actually not far from your current position. That said, it is far away from the Golden Triangle, like really far away. I mean, it's closer to the northern part of the city, and the Golden Triangle is located strictly at the southern part.
Right.
Johannes, you have no idea, because those are wizards we are talking about, and they're not people.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Gustav, are you telling them?
yeah, I relay that information.
All right. So Gaston, when Gustav tells you where the Gold College is, where it's supposedly located, you don't really believe him, because for you, it's obvious that the Gold College is where the gold is. So
Right. Well, why would I not believe him? I guess just because I rolled so badly.
Yeah,
That way-
you
okay,
have a
okay.
botch. Now,
Just trying to understand.
yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Like botches are always bad. Like botches are the
Okay.
worst. So especially of course during combat, where you can have very bad things happen to you. But social botches, for example, mean that you are talking with someone and then you belch into their face, or insult them without even
It's called pulling a Lambert.
thinking about it. So please RP this, by the way. I would like for you guys to RP this.
I'm sorry, Gaston. I hate to tell you this, but that's not possibly where where the Gold College could be. It'll be somewhere in the. I think it'll be somewhere in the academic areas, but
I remember seeing signs for it at the university.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that.
Well, just follow.
I mean,
Gustav
gold,
there.
money. Come on.
Yeah, but
I'm
but
not
they're
sure what the Gold College actually does.
Well, they obviously study gold.
they turn lead into gold.
Mm.
Alchemy.
That's where the money's made.
So yeah, you think that the Bretonian has has his mindset. Of course, just so you know, Andrew, a bulge doesn't mean that that you believe this thing for the rest of your life. if you hear good enough arguments, then you can probably change your mind naturally. It's mainly for laughs, of course, here, so it's not too serious. But for example, if you would be out in the wilds and you would be traversing the woods of the Empire and you would roll a botch on your navigation skill, then that would almost certainly mean a beastman ambush, for example, or a bandit attack. Just so you know, double digits above your skill is always bad, and you should probably always or almost always reroll it. It's of course up to you. You don't have to, but just saying. Okay. So anyway, as you are discussing this, Lambert, you go inside, and where are you going?
Eating a pretzel. 1 sec.
He's going inside to eat a pretzel.
Yeah.
All right. I look around for Marla.
Yeah, you see her waitering a table nearby. You don't have to be a be a good judge of character to know what she's feeling, given the look on her face that you see.
I go up to the barkeep.
You see that the barkeep is the same kid from young boy, from the last day. He's actually relatively busy, but just as he's serving, his last drink, he looks at you and he smiles slightly. Oh, Master Cherryheart, hello. Can I get you something?
One, and I pull out a silver and I put it on the bar. And I was like, "Thank you for putting me in bed. That was very nice of you."
No worries, he says, blushing slightly.
2, is it okay if I borrow Marla for a minute? Just like a quick break for her?
Yeah, sure. Annika, and he calls towards the kitchen and also, teenage-looking girl, slightly chubby, emerges, and the kid says, "Get your apron. You're going to be a waitress for a couple of minutes." And the girl is like, "But my shift doesn't start in like a few hours." "I said that you're going to be a waitress for a few minutes." All right. Of course, she's rather unhappy, but she goes back and then emerges like after a minute with her waiting apron on and with a what's the word, a serving plate. And the kid just looks at you. Lambert just nods as if to say that now it's all fine.
All right. I walk over to Marla.
She looks at you, and you see that she has, her eyes are red, her face is flushed. It's clear that she's been crying, and she looks at you and she says, "I don't have time for this, Lambert. I have work. I'm sorry."
I've arranged for you to have some time to have a quick talk.
And then she looks at the girl, Annika, who just nods sullenly, but still. Marla also nods slowly and then says to you, "Well, lead the way."
We aren't going up to the room. We're going out back of the building.
Sure.
Where you see where you see Johannes shoveling shit into a bag.
I poke my head out the door, see that, and was like, "No." Close that. I was like, "Let's go up to the room."
Yeah, by this time I think you guys got the flour sacks and so one of you deduces, I don't know, 4 pennies from his
I got it.
finances, and Johannes, you are shoving rotten vegetables, old meat, stale moldy bread into the
some kind of sludge that I'm not sure what it's made out of.
Yeah, exactly. But the smell is unforgivable, and you are wondering what would Hannah think of you if she would see you right now.
We're leaving this here until we absolutely need it. I'm not carrying this around town.
No. Of course.
Anyway, Lambert, you take Marla upstairs. You go into the room. She closes the door. She crosses her hands and looks at you. Maybe not, of course, not with hostility, but with this dignified look of defiance, so to speak.
I don't know why you're giving me the third degree here.
I'm not giving you anything, Lambert. I'm just angry
No.
and I'm just sad.
And those are completely justifiable things to feel.
And of course, I
don't
know
know.
that it's nothing compared to what you've been through. But, and she looks slightly to your left. For for a few weeks, I thought that maybe finally I got lucky enough, she says. But of course, he's just another... Well, I don't even know what to call him. He's not a coward. I think he's just... I think that he doesn't know what he wants himself.
Out of game, how old is he?
Gustav?
Yeah.
I think I'm 26, 27.
All right.
I could have saved you there, but no.
Lambert just sort of sits down and puts his hands on his legs and is just like, I've been through something terrible, and that holds nothing on what's going on right now. It holds nothing on what your situation, because it's unrelated. One, thank you so much for seeing me through that. I'm pretty sure I probably would have hung myself if I didn't have you guys around me. But two, I understand that something terrible is going on. I don't know what exactly has happened. I imagine he made a fucking ass of himself.
He told me that we can't be an item anymore because if something bad would happen to me, then he would be helpless and he would do whatever it takes to help me. For example, I don't know, ratting you guys out, sacrificing himself, something like that. So I asked him if, for example, if it would be one of you who would be getting tortured, how he would react then. And he didn't have an answer for that.
It's the words of a young kid in love.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to say it.
Well,
And you're well, there's nothing I can say that would be like, hey, you're welcome to have these feelings, because that says like, oh, I'm allowing this. You feel however the fuck you want to feel about it, Marla. You're your own person. Hell, I've seen you kick ass. So I'm not worried about you protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself in the best way you know how. Working the job, getting paid, staying safe. And if that's what you want to do, that's the way you got to do it. And if you're worried about him, worry about him. He can handle himself too. I want you both to at least be content. But if he's going out of his way to hide from you, if he's going out of his way to hide his actual feelings about you, I have to go have a word with him.
look.
I'm gonna roll fellowship real quick.
Sure.
To show that I'm on her side in this.
Mm-hmm.
That is a success.
She looks at you for a long time. Look, you don't have to worry about me, quitting on you, doing something stupid, not pretending that he's not in the same room, or that we are not, if not life partners, then still business partners. It's all fine. If you want to talk to him,
Marla,
you can talk to him. I honestly, it won't change anything, because I think that he himself has some very poor idea of how real life works and looks and whatever. I still care for him, and as long as we all stick together, I'll make sure that he's safe, that you're safe, that Johan is safe, Gaston is safe, although probably he's the one who can take care of himself the most. By the way, that what Gustav said, like, he suggested that I should, I don't know, make a move on Gaston because he's nobility and he'll give me a good life. Like, for some reason, this was
What the fuck?
this hurt the. I think this hurt the most.
I'm sorry. What the like? This is in character. What the actual fuck? Like, I don't know. I don't know if you've surely interacted with like one of the Reichsguard. Like, they don't give a shit unless you're a noble. I mean, I like Gaston too, but like Gaston's a foreigner in a foreign land, from a land that still believes that, you know, wiping your ass crack with garlic is healthy.
Not.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm being racist towards Bretonians.
Yeah, I know. I'm just,
No, don't worry. It's not a crime. It's the right thing to do. Of course, I'm kidding. Andrew,
it's a
like-
victimless crime.
Marla, I don't. It's all about the family at the end. I don't care if you two hate each other as long as you are there for each other when the time is needed. If he feels like he's going to be in a position where he's going to rat one of us out, that sucks. I still love him. He's still a brother to me at this point. He's been there for me. I don't think he would. I need one thing and one thing only from each of you, and that's just trust. All right? Just trust each of us. Even though he's a fucking idiot, even though he's a fucking young, dumb piece of shit who's too blinded by his own feelings of protection towards you to realize you're a capable woman, I just need you to trust him enough that he has your safety and his own safety in mind.
She looks at you for a long time, then sighs and says, Lambert, as I said, for me nothing changes when it comes to, as you said very nicely, our family. I will continue supporting each and every one of you. You don't have to worry about a thing. I'm not going to avoid him. I'm not going to pretend that he doesn't exist. If he's going to do the same, then we're all good. If not, then I'll have a talk with him. Normal, honest talk. We're all grown men and women. And I think that that there's nothing more to add. I thank you for your concern and for your kind words, especially after what happened to you.
I don't even want to think about what happened to me, and I thank you for your concern about it.
She just smiles.
Keeping me from tightening a rope around my neck. Don't worry, I'm still out for blood, but I'm not going to be a fucking idiot about it. All right. I'm just going to do idiotic things about it.
I'm glad to hear that. She says with a slight smile. Thank you. Now, I'm sorry. I need to return.
I feel bad for Annika.
yeah, that's true. And I mean, I haven't seen Finron in like 2 days, but it doesn't mean that I want to be a slacker. So I'm going I'm going downstairs. I'm returning to work. I wish you well with whatever it is that you'll be doing today, and just be careful. The streets are
some
still
some.
dangerous.
I'm gonna be doing some uproariously dumb shit that, if it gets a laugh out of you, I think it'll be totally worth it.
A good laugh is something that we can all use right now, she says.
Good deal.
Yeah, come on,
Go on.
let's go. And you go downstairs, I presume.
Yeah, I find Annika. Does she look like put out?
Yeah, she looks like she's pissed.
All right, hey, and come here.
She approaches you. I'm sorry, Master Cherryheart. I have tables to
No,
work.
you don't. Marla's back. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I did that to you. I know you have a couple of hours to go. I hope this makes up for it. And I fish through my pocket and I'm gonna roll random real quick. And I have the numbers in my head for what this could be, so we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so it's on the bad side. All right. I pull out a coin and palm it to her and just say, "You're a lifesaver," and I walk out. I'm deducting 1 gold crown from my inventory.
Okay. You know, you only heard her like saying something. Thank you so much. You know, because like that's a gold crown. That's a lot for a girl like her. And as you move to the entrance, you can feel rather than look that she's still standing there with her, mouth open.
I'm like, oh man, I guess that means I guess they don't pay her shit. I need to talk to Finron.
Yeah.
And I'm going off to find Johannes.
So you go out back. But Gaston and Gustav, what are you guys doing right now?
Well, are you still shoveling?
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. But I don't want to get too involved until we know what we're doing with it. I'm not carrying this around town.
Right,
okay,
no,
yeah,
I agree.
I think that all 3 of you would probably be at the back, right? Looking at Johannes as he's shoving the horrible contents of the gutter and the trash heap into the sacks. Johannes, you feel disgusted, honestly. Actually, I would like for you to roll me plus 30% toughness test.
Okay. I will do that.
If you puke in the bag, it just adds flavor.
Yes.
Nice. No, only Johannes. You don't have to roll, Gustav. Yeah, so you, Gustav and Gaston, you see that Johannes is slightly pale. Sometimes, doing the sounds that someone does when they don't really want to vomit. But eventually, all 4 sacks have been filled. Just as Lambert, you emerge from the back entrance to the Shepherd's Wand, and you see Gustav, Johannes, and Gaston all standing there, covered in the shades of nearby buildings built close to the Shepherd's Wand.
Hey, Gustav. Gustav. You come here.
Oh.
Oh man, Warhammer soap opera! I love it. I wish I could run more games like that.
What? Come here. Quick, before they can hear you.
What?
I can't whisper that high, man. You gotta lean down here.
I leaned so he could. I'm suspicious.
I lean in like I'm gonna go for his ear. I need to roll a surprise to punch him in the face.
Yeah, I'm kind of suspicious this is coming like the way you're doing this.
So, Gustav, you don't need to roll anything numbered really because you're not hiding from him. It's just, actually no, sorry, Lambert, you need to roll your dexterity or agility. I think it's agility.
Agility.
Yeah, in Warhammer against Gustav against your perception. That said, Gustav, you have a minus 10% to that. Because I don't think that you would expect
My fist, you fucker.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Lambert. You just want to hit him without doing any major damage, right? Just normal strike. Or do you want to roll damage? If you want to roll damage, then you normally roll. But
I'm not gonna roll damage on this.
Okay, yeah.
I'm hitting him, but I'm hitting him to get his fucking attention.
yeah, so it's not like when,
5 fingers to the face.
yeah, it's not like when Sean rolled and killed a man with his bare fist. Remember that, Sean?
Yes.
One
I-
Punch Man.
Yes.
All right. So
He
Gustav.
shouldn't have gotten away with my fist.
True. That was completely his fault. Gustav, you lean down. You know, Lambert is whispering something. Johannes and Gaston, you see that, and then you see, or rather, first you hear smack, and Gustav's head flies back as Lambert essentially uppercutted him from, downstairs. Not too hard, Gustav. You're not falling on your back or anything, but the strike is sudden, loud, and very stingy, painful. Yeah. There's the silence, I guess.
Go apologize to her, you fucking dolt.
You're lucky you're grieving right now.
I got nothing to lose. You want to take this further than it already has? And I lift my shirt up and I've got the dagger there. It's like, I've got nothing to lose. I'm asking you nicely now. The nicely came with a punch. Go apologize to Marla.
I'm rubbing my chin and walking back to where I was standing before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anything. I
So
look
that's
mad.
That's how it's gonna be. You're gonna dash out on Marla because you think you would rat us out just to save her. I trust you, all right? I trust all of you. I've hardly ever.
Every reason to keep trusting me.
I have hardly even met. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking, fucking kid. I have hardly even met Gaston, and I trust him.
Yeah. By the way, Gaston, Johannes,
Go-
you hear that everything? Yeah. Just so you know.
Go apologize to Marla. You don't have to make amends. Decisions are decisions. But go apologize for being a fucking prick.
I'll talk to her when we get back tonight.
I'm going to hold you to that.
You need to stay out of it.
I'm going to hold you to it. And I would watch your food if you don't have that talk.
You and I still need to talk about what you told the Verenians. I understand you're grieving, but that caused some issues.
Hey, you know what? That's fair. Come on. One across the cheek, right here. Let's do it.
Can I intervene or not?
Give it your best fucking crack.
Wait, sorry, Andrew, you're intervening?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm gonna try to break it up.
yeah, suddenly with this, with loud clanking sound, the Bretonian, even though he looks like a walking suit of armor, he moves very quickly between both of you, and probably my guess, Andrew, is that you have this, this classical, you're in this classical pose of extending your arms in both directions, right? One to the right, one to the right. Yeah. And Gustav and Lambert, he's not making any dangerous moves or any violent moves, but you still feel slightly intimidated by him. It's like you can see how fast he moves, how powerful he's built, and that even despite all the armor, all the steel on him, the chainmail, everything, you have the slight shivers going down your spines as you can imagine just how potentially dangerous in combat this man can be. Fortunately, right now, he's just a mediator. You see that he's extending both of his hands in your directions. Are you saying anything, Gaston?
Now is not the time. We have things that we need to get done. Let it go for now.
I can put it aside till the job's done.
Very cool, Gaston. That was Andy. Very, very cool. Yeah, love it.
I would be eating popcorn if I didn't have my hands covered in shit.
Yeah. That said, Johannes, as you were watching all of this, the entire confrontation between Lambert and Gustav, and now Gaston trying to defuse the situation. For a few seconds, you even forgot about how dirty you are and how this whole back alley stinks. So yeah. Again,
Yes.
there's silence. But Gaston, you think that you have situation under control. You see that. I mean, I presume Gustav and Lambert that you're not going at each other anymore, at least for now.
No, I was just talking shit. I mean, like, you guys know I'm a pacifist, so it wasn't going to come to that for me.
Yeah.
Most likely, anyway.
So yeah.
Lambert just gives a little laugh and walks inside.
Mm-hmm. And you also know that you have a meeting at the Gold College in a very short time. So if you want to go there, you should probably leave now.
Let's go.
Agreed.
So tell me, who's going there?
I thought we were all going.
Yeah, I
I
thought so
think
too.
so.
Just
As I thought.
just making sure, because maybe some of you want to stay or want to go somewhere else. But if you're all going,
No, I'll go with him.
okay. So you leave the Street of 100 Taverns, and led by Gustav, who you remember, all the rumors about the Gold College, supposedly the most successful, financial-wise, and the richest of all the colleges of magic. You go further north. You pass the Great Library and the University of Altdorf. Again, Gustav, you have this. You feel the slight shiver running down your spine as you see the building in which you were attacked just a few days ago, and actually, you were slightly wounded even. Moving through the masses of Altdorf's population, even though you are using the bigger streets to get to your destination, you can actually, or at least you think, that in the distance from time to time you can hear the sounds of major unrest, perhaps, of people fighting. And of course you're wondering if it's like just a normal or even a large scale bar brawl, or is it perhaps the Shade. You're not really sure, but one thing is for certain: if you want to do something about this whole business, this whole Crimson Shade business, then things can and probably will get much worse. Eventually, you approach a complex of very unusual looking buildings, because they are not rich or flamboyant or mystical from the outside. What you see as you approach your destination, and naturally along the way you even ask questions if this is the right way to go to the Gold College, if this is the Gold College, stuff like that. And yeah, the people are just nodding their heads saying yes, and trust me, you will smell it before you will see it. True enough, even before you see the buildings, you can smell the strange alchemical vapors in the air. Sulfur, which of course isn't a nice smell at all, but also other mysterious aromas, so to speak. Johannes, for you, naturally, that's a major improvement over the back of the Shepherd's Wand. But as you're getting closer and closer, the smells are getting stronger, and few of you maybe even sneezed, and you can just feel the smells at the back of your throats. Nearby people don't seem to care that much, but maybe they're just they've been living here for longer than you, and so they got accustomed. But at the end, you see the Gold College of Magic. It looks like several great and conjoined laboratories and foundries, with many furnaces and tall chimneys which belch colored and sometimes bizarre glowing smoke and steam into the air. The building itself, the main
Healthy.
building, is 5 stories high at its tallest point, and it's a jumble of towers and courtyards. You can almost imagine a maze of passages, laboratories, dormitories, forges, and reception halls that are inside. It's also built at the right next to a canal, as you can see here. This number 16 is the Gold College of Magic. And you guess that perhaps the water, from this canal is also used in the gold magister's many experiments, many mysterious and perhaps even sinister works. But eventually you reach the place. The outside gate, unlike the Jade College, looks completely normal, if very nicely ornamented. It's made from a sturdy looking, wooden beams, emblazoned with this rather peculiar symbol. You've never seen it before. It looks like a double-headed eagle with this circle and an arrow coming from the center of it. There are also other symbols that none of you have any idea what they mean. And naturally, the gate itself is also, heavily decorated with gold motifs. This whole thing just screams, at least the gate itself, screams opulence. And Gaston, you guessed it, money. As you first, you believed that like a few hours ago that the Gold College, of course, is certainly involved in making gold itself. There are a few guards waiting outside. The guards look rather similar to your standard Altdorf city guards, except for the fact that they are incredibly well armed and armored. They have practically half-plate armor on them. Flintlock pistols, their halberds are of much higher quality than your usual city guard. But not only that, even from their stances, you can see that these are practically professional soldiers. And so when you approach the gates, one of them, goes forward and, extends his left hand. Halt! You can't enter the Gold College. It is not for the likes of you, he says.
But we have this invitation. I pull out the scroll.
Mm-hmm. You pull out the scroll. You give him to the guard. Now, most guards in the old world, they don't know how to read and write. This one does. Sorry, was someone saying something? Because
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was moving something on my desk.
Sure. The guard takes the invitation, looks at it, looks at all of you, and says, just nods his head, and says, sorry. Very well. In that case, you can enter, but you will leave all your weapons at the door. They will be given back to you after the visitation. This is not negotiable, he says.
No problem. Here you go. I hand over my dagger.
Yeah. Then he approaches Gustav. You have your dagger as well, or do you also have your staff?
He has. I have my staff and I have a dagger. I don't know where I keep it.
Probably at your belt, I guess.
Yeah, or boots.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, sorry, Johannes, you also have your sling, right?
Oh yeah, I give him that too.
Yeah. Lambert?
I've got my dagger, my sling, and my pan.
Okay. I mean, you can leave the pen. they don't leave the pen. Gaston, finally you. And you, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to give them my birth sword.
when he approaches you and he approaches to the last, you know, he sees that you're reluctant, but he says, "These are the rules. Night or not, you're not walking in with your weapons strapped to your belt." By the way, he's certainly a commoner, and all of you know that almost no commoner addresses a night like that. Oh, Johannes, you're also not on the roll 20 right now.
I'm not?
Oh, now you are.
Okay, that's weird.
What, did your computer screen go to sleep or something?
No.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
I just was on another. I had another window open, and I was on that window. But
If it's that big of an issue, you could stay here. I don't think you need to come in.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna find out.
I mean, the guard just, shrugs his shoulders and says, "In that case, Sir Knight, I see that you simply don't want to enter the premises of the college. Very well." He nods his head and he looks at Gustav, Johannes, and Lambert. "Gentlemen, you can enter."
I enter.
That said, you all know that the invitation was for the 4 of you.
ah, well,
So?
So you're saying they all can't go in unless I go in?
No.
No.
Okay.
They can enter normally, just that
Okay.
the invitation was for the 4 of you, so I'm just saying. But alright, if you're not doing anything with that, the 3 of you enter the premises of the Gold College of Magic. Inside, the strange smells of alchemy are even stronger than the outside, of course. While the exterior of the building, as I've described, was rather plain, it was functional, but nothing special. The insides of the Gold College of Magic are just dripping with opulence. And yeah, it's gold is everywhere, but so is extremely rich-looking furniture made in various styles. You can of course see the classic imperial, style of chairs, of tables, desks, stuff like that. As you're being led through the corridors by a servant. But for example, Gustav, you think that you saw a few times clearly, a very clear Marienburg style made furniture. There are even like vases and suits of armor, weapons on hanging on the wall from some faraway lands. Obviously, curved swords, some strange like arrases and pieces of cloth. It's simply incredible. Rich carpets, heavy velvet curtains. There are deep, comfortable couches even in the corridors and side rooms. Gilded statues of probably, you guess, important members of the order, and you are passing by quite a few of the, again you would guess, golden magisters, men and women in rich robes and carrying various huge leather-bound tomes and strange, elaborate alchemical paraphernalia, discussing quietly, or maybe not so quietly even, many experiments that they participate in. You hear 2 of them saying, "Yes, and then we will be able to use the heavy water in production of the formula aqualingua and stuff like that." That's technical mambo jumbo, so to speak. They practically don't even notice you as you are moving from the interior of the building. Johannes, as you're passing one of the many laboratories along the way, suddenly a cloud of of noxious multicolored gas, or rather, smoke, belches from the doorway and envelops your head. Interestingly enough, even though the smell is horrible, you do not start coughing. Like, it smells really bad, but your body doesn't react. For example, like it did, in the back alley. Moving up and up to the 4th floor at least, you think. You've even passed, an open door leading to a huge, richly furnished office. Inside, you caught a glimpse of a very fat-looking merchant-like fellow, or maybe even a noble, discussing some kind of patronage with a gold wizard. The gold wizard in question actually has a mask on, and he half mask, only covering the upper portion of his face, and the man is like, I'm paying 100 gold crowns more for my name to be placed on a plaque saying that the new laboratory was founded by a very prestigious and respectable Dashner family. So I don't really understand why I should pay 50 gold crowns more. Then you don't hear the rest of the conversation because you are moving forward. And eventually you arrive on the 5th floor, the highest floor there is. As you moved up and up, you also notice one thing, that probably in the cellars beneath the college, you guess there are many forges and workshops, because you've heard the almost constant sounds of smithing, of hammering, of all kinds of industrial noises coming from beneath your feet. But as you move up, the sounds grew dimmer. You eventually arrive in front of a huge double door, covered completely in very small gilded symbols and signs. Most of them you have no idea. You don't know what they mean. That said, there's this one symbol that keeps repeating and repeating. It's actually quite prevalent on both wings, and it is the circle with the arrow coming from the center. All of you guess that this is probably the symbol of the Gold College of Magic. Your guide, a young man with very fine-looking and very well-trimmed beard, knocks a few times in this rather strange way, and from within you hear a woman's voice, an older woman's voice, maybe even a crone's voice, you would say, saying, "Let them in!" The young man opens the door. He bows to all of you and then, makes the gesture of, "Please enter." He's not saying anything, by the way. He didn't even introduce himself. When you entered the building of the college, he just made this gesture of "Follow me, please." Are you entering?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Inside, there's a huge room. It looks more like a ballroom, perhaps, like a room in which the imperial or Bretonnian nobility would host a very expensive, very pretentious, of course, party. There are high windows looking over Altdorf, and even from the entrance you can see the huge vista of the greatest human cities in the old world. Hundreds of smoke stacks coming into the air, from the thousands of chimneys. You can see city walls in the distance. It looks incredible. None of you ever seen the city from such a high vantage point. That said, it's not the city that quickly gathers all your attention. There are 3 people inside. You see Corbinian Shrek, of course, the Jade Wizard. He looks just as he looked before. Bare feet, long blonde hair, leaves everywhere, and he has his staff with the tree scale symbol. The other person is a hunched, almost ancient woman, not even old, but ancient woman, bent in half, dressed in very long, but rather plain-looking golden robe. She left half of her face is completely obscured by a strange contraption. It looks like a mask. It looks like half a mask with this single ocular that is actually moving forwards and backwards, as if as if it has a life of its own. She's not operating it in any way. It just does this quiet weird sound as it moves backwards and forwards. Her hands and her face that you can see from under the half mask, they are very well tanned. Well, actually not tanned, as you get that as you move closer. It looks like they're made from gold. But they have the texture, they have the look of normal skin. But it's like gold. It even reflects the light like a gold would. And finally, Johannes and Gustav, you see that the third person is, you know her, Malgund Outman, the witch hunter. In her customary long cloak.
Okay.
And with, like, at least 3 pistols visible, 3 daggers visible, and a rapier sticking from under said cloak. She is in the handout section, by the way. You can see her there.
Mm-hmm.
Corbinian looks at you with this rather friendly look on his face, especially looking at you, Gustav. He looks at you, nods, and smiles slightly. The old hag, she, like, you can't really tell the look on her face. She's almost like a statue, a bent down statue. While the woman, the witch hunter, she has a very neutral look, but she also narrows her eyes slightly when she probably realizes that there are only 3 of you. The servant closes the door behind you, and you are alone in this room, which, by the way, is practically completely empty, except for a single beautifully carved wooden table on which rests the dagger. Gustav, you know which dagger. And actually, Lambert, you also know the look of a very fine made, incredibly well made, but also incredibly cruel looking weapon. My friends, says Corbinian Shrek, I am glad that you were able to join us. Let me present to you Magister X, Romilda Nowicki of the Gold Order of Magic. An archmage of my order, says the woman. Young Corbinian here told me about you, especially about you, Marienberger. She says. She has this hoarse sounding voice, as if her throat was completely burned out. Actually, Gustav, it reminds you of back when you were in Marienburg, of sailors and gang members who were smoking tobacco all their lives, and their voice was fucked, like completely.
I bow in greeting.
Pleasure to meet you, she says. And she does this weird sound that only after a second you realize is laughter. But I think that there was supposed to be a fourth one. That's true, says woman. Says the woman.
The Bretonian, it's very difficult to get him to disarm.
Oh, the Bretonian, says Malgut Outman, as she makes a few steps towards you, would do well to remember that he is a guest of Sigmar's Holy Empire, and that he should probably obey the laws. But
Pretty sure him staying outside is obeying the law.
we wanted all four of you inside, Master Halfling.
Okay.
Says the woman, for a reason. But it is no matter. You'll be able to convey to your Bretonian friend what we'll discuss within these walls here.
Oh, thank God. Oh, fuck. Oh. Lambert lets out the breath he was holding, like, oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, we walked in here. No offense, Lady Templar. You said you were disappointed that there was all four of us here. I thought you were going to kill us.
She looks at you as if she's not sure if you're making a jest or not.
I am, but I want to lean fellowship into this and try and
Roll.
put forward sincerity. Yeah, we're rolling this.
Nice.
Yeah, this will be sincere.
Should have been 99.
I have no reason to end your lives, Halfling. Unless you did something that perhaps should force my hand, she says, smiling very thinly. She has a nasty smile. Like, she's a fairly attractive woman, or rather would be if she would take care of herself. But you've never seen a female smiling so unpleasantly, so to speak. And you guess that it's not directed not because of you. It's probably her natural state. Like, she smiles like that normally.
Yeah, I can't say that I've done anything wrong in Sigmar's eyes, aside from being the only survivor of a brutal-ass murdering.
Kolbinian takes a step forward. We want, on behalf of Jade College, Master Cherryheart, we wanted to convey our deepest and sincerest apologies to you. Apologies?
You have nothing to apologize for.
What happened?
I hope.
The woman says, Romilda, what happened to you and to your compatriots, Halfling, is an abomination. And you can rest assured that justice will be served.
Oh, well, all right. Yeah, we're cool. Yeah, sweet. I'm on board. Wherever the hell you got planned.
Kolbinian, asks you to approach the table, and the three of other people in the room, they also, move to the very beautifully carved wooden table. Its legs are actually in the shape of some strange serpentine dragons. You've never seen anything like that. But you guess that that this piece of furniture had to cost a fortune. Please allow us to explain, says the woman. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to worry. This room is mystically sealed. No one from the outside will be able to hear what we are talking about.
I don't personally know if I believe her.
Well, you see that the walls of the room, they are, of course, lined with gold, but you don't see any strange glowing symbols, any flowing runes in the air, nothing. This just looks like a very nice looking ballroom. Then again, none of you is a magician, so you have no idea how they work really.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
the
the only
way,
ma-
sorry,
the only magic I've seen done was like that necromancer shit.
Yeah, but I guess you're not saying this out loud, right?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, by the way, Gaston. Meanwhile, you, for the last 15 minutes, you've been approached by at least a dozen beggars who asked for a coin or two, governor. What are you doing? What were you doing with those people?
Tell them to move on.
All right. Yeah, and you see that there are lots of beggars around, hugging nearby buildings and, watching you from the side alleys. From time to time, one of them gathers the courage to approach you and, asks you for a coin or two. They're not aggressive, of course, but like by the time the guys reach the place, as I said, you've been at least asked for money like 12 times at least, and of course it's probably starting to get a bit irritating.
Right.
Yeah. Not
Is
Mhm.
is the guard still near me? Like, am I still
No,
standing
I
by
mean
the guard?
the guards are standing right next to the door, and they see what's happening, but they're not doing anything. But you see that they're also not talking to each other, not laughing or smirking at you. They look like they're holding their posts.
Okay.
This, of course, coupled with the whole beggar thing, coupled with a very high heat of the day. There are no clouds in the sky. Mean that not only are you sweating like a pig, but you probably also you're getting slightly irritated with every passing minute. I presume that you have some kind of water flask on you, of course. I mean, you need to have, because this is a standard starting equipment.
Right.
But even the water itself, it's like this lukewarm spit more than water right now. On the 5th floor, you approach the table. The old woman presents her, thin, golden hands, and as you approach her, you can clearly see that, like, it's not even paint. You are sure that her skin is made from gold. You can't wrap your minds around that. You also see that her nails are very long, and they are actually painted completely black, but with they have this very thin silver script covering each and every single one of them, naturally in a language that you can't really tell what it is, that you don't know. You found quite an interesting thing in the Grand Library. Herr van Hoek, says the woman. This was the weapon. This was a weapon that managed to hurt Magister Shrek. Do you know what this is? She says. Obviously going for the more for the theatrics, option. She waits.
I shake my head.
This weapon is mostly made from a very fine steel. Extremely high quality. But steel is not the only metal used in its forging. I use my considerable power and knowledge, as well as many of my colleagues here in the college, those that are still here, those that did not venture into the north to fight the hordes of the archenemy anyway. And we conducted quite a few experiments. And I can tell you that at least 30 to 40% of this weapon, of this dagger, is made from Ifilmar. She, for dramatic purpose of course, she stops talking for a second. None of you have any idea what Ifilmar is.
Is that like some sort of place? Or?
The witch hunter rolls her eyes and says, "It's a fey metal, elven steel, essentially, used by the so-called Azur of the far and fair island of Ulfuan in forging of their arms and armor."
That's cool. What the hell's it doing here?
Well, what the young witch hunter here failed, or maybe intentionally failed to mention, is that the High Elves, whose greatest arcane user was instrumental in founding the Colleges of Magic back in the times of Magnus the Pious, I might add, she says. What she failed to mention is that the Azur are not the only elves that use Ifilmar. And she makes a quick glance towards Margund, who nods and fishes out a small piece of parchment from one of the coats, from one of the pockets in her coat, and places the parchment right next to the blade. On the parchment there's a single symbol. It's a rune. At the same time, very aesthetically pleasing, but also cruel looking. Lambert, you feel you feel cold all of a sudden, and you can feel your heart beating faster. You inadvertently clench your fingers because you recognize this symbol. You recognize
Is the table made of wood?
Yeah.
My fingernails dig into the wood.
"Careful, it's caffeine," says the woman. "You don't know. You don't have any idea how expensive it is?"
You didn't see this painted in your family's blood on the wall.
"Yes," says Malgund. This symbol was indeed present on the scene of a crime. The so-called, and these are not my words, Master Halfling, so Master Cherryheart, so don't take it out on me, but the common folk of Altdorf already dubbed it the Great Halfling Massacre.
Well, at least I think we're great.
Yes. Anyway, this was one of the symbols, painted with the blood of your relatives on the walls and, well, many other places. It is from Elven alphabet. Although, as one of the envoys of Ulfuanian embassy assured us, not by their own kind. It's used by the Drukai, she says. And she looks at both wizards, who clearly have very concerned looks on their faces. The darker cousins of the Azur. This symbol represents one of their vile gods, named Kayla Mensha Kane. You perhaps have heard this name because Cain, the god of murder, the god of scorpions, is also a deity worshipped by some of the more debased humans in our society. Well, not only in our society. Marienberg as well, she looks at you, Gustav, and I'm sure that brave Sir Knight, if you you to be here. Would also love to hear that Fair Britannia probably also has a fair few cultists of Cain present within its borders. And Cain is a god of murder. It's plain and straight. That said, while humans usually just worship him by making human sacrifices, says Margund, which is cruel in itself. From what my order managed to gather and what my master managed to learn from the elusive Azure envoy from the embassy, the Dark Elves tend to be much more creative in their way of worshipping Cain. They take the art of murder to the extreme. They actually make it art in their own twisted eyes. It's not just about killing someone. It's about making sure that they feel that they are dying. It's about making sure that they go to the other side screaming in pure agony and terror. Now, the Holy Order of Sigmar, of which I am part of, we obviously had our dealings ever since our foundation. Back in the days of Heldenhammer himself, we had many dealings with the Dark Elves. They are notorious for raiding coastal cities and nations. Nordland, for example, suffered greatly over the last 2.5 millennia, at their hands. So did the Bretonians, and I'm sure that Tileans, Estalians, Arabians also have quite a few tales to tell about their depravity. That said, says Outman, the Witch Hunter, the Dark Elves, and this is what troubles us, they are not exactly known for operating so deep within the Imperial territory. They are coastal riders, and they wage war from the seas, mainly against their cousins, the High Elves. But of course our fleets also clashed with them many times. But this, and she points out, and she taps her finger on the parchment, and this, and she points her finger at the dagger, suggests that their agents are within the walls of Altdorf itself. And that is what worries us, says the old woman. You've stumbled upon something horrible and incomprehensible. If the Drukai really are here, then this means that Altdorf is in grave danger. Now they wait, and they just look at you to see how you will react to this information.
So you're saying elves killed my family?
Elves, says Margund, or humans serving them. We have a theory, me and my master, that
How much?
perhaps there is a single elf here, or maybe a small cabal of them, but that they have Cainite cultists in their employ.
Who's sitting right next to me?
No one's sitting, you are all standing around the table.
Okay. Gustav, this seems like an occasion where we could really get something done here if we just helped out.
What do you mean?
This isn't the only knife.
Well, I figured that.
You know that.
So what are you saying?
All right. The Golden Triangle. I wish that Sir Gaston had come in here to corroborate with this. But
When you're saying this, you see that Margund did the gesture of please be silent for a second. Then she looks at the woman. Please send someone downstairs. Fetch the fucking Bretonnian here. He can keep his sword. we need to have his testimony. I would hate to order him dragged here. Can you do that? Woman says, but this is against our... I don't care. Please. We've been the Holy Ordos and your colleges. We've been friends for a rather long time. Let's keep it that way. Fine, she says. Then she produces a small bell from within the sleeves of her long robe. She rings the bell. The mute servant, the same that, who brought you in, emerges from behind the door. Bring the Bretonnian in. He can keep his weapons. Servant just nods, runs downstairs.
do we want to wait for him, or?
Yes, we should wait, says Corbinian Shrek, looking. You see that he's looking rather harshly at the witch hunter, but he's not saying anything. If
what was the magistrate's name?
Her name was Romilda Nowicki.
Okay, I'm not even going to try. Lady magistrates, and I butcher that too. Like I can't even get the office right.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, is this okay? And I pull one of my cigars out.
She nods. By all means.
All right, cool. I'm gonna need this for this bullshit.
Gaston, suddenly you see that the door leading to the college opens just after 20th beggar asks you for a few coins. And you see that a young man dressed in gold, silver, and black robe emerges from within, says a few words very quietly into the ear of of one of the guards, the same one who said that you can't enter if you have a sword. The guard looks at him, looks at you, then just nods and approaches you, Gaston. Master Bretonnian, he says, his tone absolutely, flat and without any emotion. I've been told that you can enter the premises of the Gold College with your weapons.
Glad you come to your senses.
It wasn't my decision, sir.
Well, whoever that was.
Will you please be able to follow the servant to the 5th floor?
Of course.
Splendid, he says. And with that, the young man, probably 20 years old, maybe 21, he approaches you, bows to you, very low, and then, makes the hand gesture of, please follow me. You pass the guards, they look at you, but they're not saying anything. You hear the door closing behind you, and you make your way upstairs. By the way, all this time, Johannes, you were not saying anything, right? You were just listening. Sean? Oh.
He might be muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Sean.
Oh, God damn it! I had so many good things to say too.
Well, this room was magically sealed.
Yeah. So they sealed you shut.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry. So if you were saying something, Sean, it wasn't me ignoring you. I just didn't hear you. Sorry.
Well, no. I I was sort of interrupting other people all the time, so it's okay.
No worries.
Oh, he just thought we were being really rude.
No. I just thought that other people were just kept keeping on going, so I was like, oh, okay. Well, what I was gonna say is that aside from the Golden Triangle, we've been trying to catch this this woman who is presenting herself as a noble. This Guarina Akner, but we suspect that she may be more than she says she is. She definitely has a strange bearing.
Her physical description is high. She apparently is more beautiful than the highest priced whore I could probably find in this town.
When you say that, you see that Magister is like raised her one visible eyebrow. Corbina
come on.
actually flashed with red, but you only see that the witch hunter, smiled thinly. you would know that, I bet. Right.
Oh, come on, no one's gonna go for me. I'm half the size of a normal man. And besides, magistrates don't take it as an insult. You're literally shiny gold. That's pretty damn attractive.
I didn't even thought about that. Well, anyway, this Akner woman, you're saying, where did you met her, and when?
We have yet to actually meet her. We've
My eyes have seen them.
What?
You've seen her?
People that I employed have seen her, and we have intercepted mail meant for her, letters that were meant for her, which I beg pardon, probably shouldn't read to this room. Professing a lot of love for this woman.
Where did you find those letters? Asks Margund.
I just dig out because I have them on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're in my satchel. Let's dig out the 3 letters, and I hand them to the witch hunter. It's like, here you go.
These are letters from the Schnitzer household.
All right, I walked in here under certain assumptions that I would be leaving here today. So preferably of my own free will.
You've hidden them from my master, Günther Klinger.
I am pretty damn sure you've already talked to the justices that were at the scene of the murder and have heard what I had to say. So there's that. We tried to keep this. Justice is pretty damn blind and tends to take a hammer to everything, even when that hammer is going to strike down a bunch of people that had nothing to do with it.
Well, this is the empire of men, Halfling, says the witch hunter. If 100 men and women and children must burn in order to root out one heretic, then it is price worth paying for. This is what our Lord and Savior taught us throughout the last 2.5 millennia.
Well, that's gotten 2.5 million. Damn, that's a long time. While that's proven to be true for 2.5 millennia, it's still pretty fucked.
Perhaps, but we simply don't have the luxury to even think about alternatives. I've read the reports from the north about what happened to Ostland and Nordland and Ostermark. I'm pretty sure that if you will one day see the scale of destruction wrought by those animals from Norska and further lands, then you will probably change your stance on what is just and what is not.
Until then, let's just agree to disagree. and here you go. Here's the things I have.
She just
Uh,
sighs while
and-
she's not saying
yeah.
anything else.
And I'm going to talk about some stuff that maybe you know about and maybe you don't know about. And instead of getting all pissy pants on me, we can just agree, like, hey, we're meeting now. Let's work together. We both had the best interests of the Empire in mind.
Colbinian Shrek,
Please.
makes the gesture of both hands in the air. We are working together. Everyone in this room, let us remember that we are working together for the good of the Empire and for our beloved Emperor Karl Franz. May he reign eternally.
All friends.
Karl Franz! Karl Franz! Says the woman. At the same time,
Girlfriends.
at the same moment, the door opens and actually you've heard him. Actually, no, you didn't heard him before. Only after the door opens, you hear the sounds of knight walking in heavy armor, entering the room, but only after both door open. And now you think that perhaps maybe the woman wasn't lying. Maybe this room really is sealed in some way. Of course, you can also see the young servant who's bowing in half and extending his hand, allowing Sir Gaston to enter. Sir Gaston, you enter the huge room and you see your comrades. You also see a rough-looking woman in long leather cloak, festooned with weapons, an old hag in golden robe, and her skin looks funny, and a wizard. And I think that Sir Gaston, you've met Corbin and Shrek, right? I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you were at the Jade College. So you see the familiar and obviously friendly face of Magister Corbinian Shrek, who actually approaches you and extends his arm. Sir Gaston, so nice to meet you, he says. So nice to see you again.
Good to see you again. I think you have a problem with homelessness out around the building.
Oh, it's not my college, says Corbinian Shrek, while looking at Magisterix. And
I live in a better neighborhood. Don't worry about it.
And you see that even though she has a golden skin, you think for a second that the gold turns slightly red. And she's saying...
Don't you guys make gold here? Can't you give them some?
That's not how this works, Bretonian, says the woman.
I turned to Gaston and was like, that's not how you solve this problem, bud.
We've been arguing about this all day.
Corbinian Shrek says, actually, please let me introduce you. Archmagisterix Romeu Danowicki from the Gold College of Magic, and Witch Hunter Margund Outman from the Holy Order of Sigmar. You see that the woman looks at you, maybe not with sympathy, but also not with outright hostility. She simply nods and says, Bretonian, so nice of you to join us. Can I please ask you to approach the table?
I just nod and approach the table.
Fantastic. All right, Gaston, do you want to corroborate this with me?
Actually, let me wait a second. The witch hunter quickly recaps what she told all of you to you, Gaston. So you know everything. But she says it very quickly in much fewer words than I would right now. So, but for game purposes, you've heard everything what the guys heard before.
Okay.
And she finishes this with saying, so from what Master Cherryheart here said, you saw more of those weapons, yes?
Yes.
How many?
We caught a glimpse of one in the Golden Triangle in a room that we were being led past during a tour, where I was playing the part of Sarah Gaston's guide and servant. In a room of some meeting, one of the men was wearing a mask and a knife almost identical to this one.
You also saw more of those knives hanging on the wall in this room.
And there
this
were
room
at
was
least
like an armory, honestly.
At least another half dozen or more of those knives hanging on the wall.
The Magister says, they've been handling Ifilmar, well, partially Fulmar-made weapons to normal scum, whoever is running this operation, they must be pretty sure of their imminent victory to do something like that. The Drukai, they consider every single other nation and every single other species, including their cousins, a lesser race to themselves. And they think that us humans, and you halflings, she looks at you, Lambert, we are no better than apes, like those found in the Southlands or Ind. If they are just making weapons like that for their followers, for their, I would say, mercenaries, this is very strange and very.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry.
And very worrying, she adds. She looks at you, Gustav. You had lots of luck escaping with your skin mostly intact, Marienberger.
I nod to Corbinian when she says that.
He nods back and he says, well, we helped each other, me and Herr van Hoek. If not for his skill with the staff, I would probably lose my life in that library. That said, the fact that those heathens, that those cultists, attacked us in broad daylight in one of the most crowded place and one of the most important places when it comes to academia in Altdorf, I think it tells us a lot. Whoever those people are, they are absolutely ruthless and will stop at nothing to accomplish their agenda. I think we can all agree on that, he says, looking around the room. And you can see that actually both the Magisterix and the Witch Hunter nod their heads. The question is, says Romeo Danowicki, what is their ultimate agenda? Because we still haven't figured out that one yet.
Well, my guess would be that they're here to destabilize our glorious empire and finish what the heretic scum started in the war.
That doesn't make sense, says Malgund, or at least not completely. From what we know, the Drukai actually hate the northern invaders almost as much as we do. They fight their own wars against them. Yes, they are monsters, but they are monsters that hate other monsters, if that makes sense. While they are worshipping Cain, their version of this vile god, according to the teachings of, practically every civilized religion in the old world, Cain is not considered one of the gods of ruin. He is a heretical god, like Stromfels, for example. She looks at you, Gustav. And some of the older gods, those worshipped by people of our lands from before the time of Sigmar. But we do not treat his cultists the same way that we treat the cultists of the ruinous powers. I will not go into details. Just so you know, we don't think that chaos, and when she says the word, all of you feel bad for just a split second, is at work here. At least we don't think so. As for destabilization, what's your surname, Johannes, actually?
Knappen.
As for this destabilization, Herr Knappen, that you were saying, yes, in some way you are probably right, but starting with Altdorf doesn't make sense. This is the heart of the empire. This operation would have to be extremely delicate, and they've already shown their hand 2 times. One when they attacked Gustav van Hoek here and Magister Shrek, and the second time when they killed Her Cherry Heart's entire clan.
Hey, sorry, I'm back.
Just in time to hear that.
Yeah, you just you just heard mention about killing your entire family again by the witch hunter, but it's not. It wasn't like condescending or anything. She just talking about facts. Although she does talk about them in a very dry way, practically completely devoid of any emotion.
She's just hitting every stereotype for every Templar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so we would need to ask ourselves, why are they flooding the streets with shade, with crimson shade, a narcotic that is extremely expensive and hard to get? You can only really get it from Estalia because it's made from the leaves of one of their trees.
To speak on my uncle's crimes, that I guess now he's paid for. We're pretty sure they were cutting it, so it was a diluted version of the actual drug. As for why, you mentioned that the elves, instead of just straight up blood sacrifice or whatever the hell, they practice the art of war as patronage to this god.
Of murder, not war. Although the
Is there a
Asur
difference?
envoy said that Cain, in their culture, is considered also a god of war.
So, in this case, murder by enraged citizens killing each other is still an act of battle, I guess. Would it not be safe to say that they are distributing this drug in such a way that it starts utter chaos in the city, is some sort of patronage devoted to Cain?
It is, but again,
It seems like it's more of a means to an end than the end itself.
Oh, I have no
There
idea
has to
what
be
the
more
actual
to it.
goal here is.
but you must.
Is this happening elsewhere
you
in the
mu-
Empire?
No, that's the thing. Templar Outman here assured me that there are no reports about such incidents happening in Biggenhafen, Ubersreich, or any of the surrounding villages nearby.
It would make sense in the coastal cities, but not
Exactly.
in the heart of the Empire.
And it's not like they're arcs, they're ships that they can just
There's-
sail down the Reich into Altdorf. Not
There's
only
no...
sorry, go in.
Sorry, there are no reports coming from Marienburg of this?
No. I mean,
Usually, something gets taxed coming through Marienburg, that means they're stealing cargo. So this is a ship that is being cleared to come through Marienburg, or is coming from the north.
or it doesn't have to come from Marienburg, says Margund. There's also the southern route through Naun, and through Naun from Tileans under the mountains to the west.
That's a long way to go to get Crimson Shade into one city.
That's true.
So
But
it's targeted.
But the one city is our glorious capital.
yeah,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They're targeting the heart of the Empire.
Yes,
but
I agree. I don't know. I don't know why they're not.
It's painting a spot on the map, saying this spot, that's the one spot. Who has the kind of determination, money, and will to move that much product? No offense, it's a drug. They're selling it. It's a product. Move that much product and contraband into one spot without spilling a bit of it along the way.
that's what worries me, says the old woman. Because let me tell you one thing. From the reports that we've been given by our friends, she says, probably rather sarcastically, in the Holy Ordos, the amount of shade hitting the streets already means that tens of thousands of gold crowns were spent. on
Is it possible?
distributing this alone, and if they don't have, I mean, it's not just about inciting riots and murdering entire families. It's something else. This is too big.
Is it possible for them to be producing it locally?
No, says Colby and Shrek.
There's no way there's a grow house for this.
No,
You check
No
their
way there's some camper out in the woods. Yeah.
no, says Corby and Shrek. I can actually tell you that the leaves of the blood oak of Estalia, it's impossible to cultivate in our climate. Estalia is a much hotter nation than our glorious empire. Even in the south, in Averland or the south of Wissenland, it would be impossible to cultivate enough blood oak to actually produce a large amount of crimson shade.
Well, I'm stumped. Where we have a suspected sponsor, for lack of a better word, suspected sponsor of this.
Well, we're all in the same room. What do we know of Guarina?
We don't know anything about her, says Malgund. Although I will start asking about that woman in certain circles. I will also ask for information from known if they have similar problems to ours. Although I doubt that. Magisterix Novitsky, can you perhaps contact your colleagues in the guilds, in the mystical guilds of Marienburg, and ask them about similar situations happening in their first city? I can do that, yes, of course. Although our relations are not crystal ever since Marienburg declared the secession. She looks at you, Gustav, with this wry smile on her face.
I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, I know that, young man. I know that. Don't worry. I'm not blaming you. All right, says.
So what do we do about the Golden Triangle? That's open and shut. We know they have that shit in there.
You see that Margun places both of her hands on the table, and she looks at the dagger. She looks at the piece of parchment with this horrible rune on it. She actually takes the parchment, rolls it, hides it back in her coat pocket. She says, "Right. Something needs to be done. We need to investigate this, and we need to get into to the bottom of this. Already, the city is tearing itself apart in the seams. So far, mainly the eastern part of Altdorf, the poor part, is affected, which is not that bad. I mean, few dozen lesser scum is always a good thing. But soon, the riots will hit the more prosperous districts. And that means that lots of angry, rich, and potentially noble people will start raising their voices. As you know, Karl Franz has not yet returned from the north. We don't want civil unrest on the nobility level here in Altdorf. Perhaps this is what the Drukai want. Maybe they want to destabilize the city in such a manner. But
I believe they do. Yeah.
But I will need, and she looks at four of you, your help in getting to the bottom of this. Our hands are already full, and the colleges will not participate in this investigation. She looks at both Corbinian and Romilda, and you see that both of them nod their heads and say, well, we can always ask the Grey Order. The witch hunter just rolled her eyes. Again, she really likes doing that and says, I'm pretty sure that the Grey Guardians are already conducting their own investigation, but I'm not speaking to them, I'm speaking to you. We need to do this subtly, and brightly colored magisters running around the city asking questions is not the way to go. That said, you four, and she looks at all of you.
Lambert's just raising his hand, just waiting.
4 of you, you are perfect people and halfling for the job.
Me, pick me.
Yes, her cherry heart, she says, rather
And I
irritated.
slam my hand on the table and I say, "You're gonna really hate this plan, but
No, she says, I don't want to hear your plan. I want you to
oh, great,
I want you to conduct
Even
it.
better. Yeah.
You have
cool.
You officially have the permission from the Holy Order of the Templars of Sigmar to find out about this whole thing. Get to the bottom of this. My suggestion is start with the triangle, but don't show your hand too early. Tell me, you guys told her that Gorina was seen visiting northern and northwestern part of Altdorf? I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
we didn't tell her that. That's what I was going to say. Is just like we are trying to gather more information, and we've found that she is going to the north. And what I was going to say is that I feel like we need to be careful that we don't tip our hand.
Wait,
with
north? You mean north
North
part?
side of the city. North side of the city.
north side of the city.
You know the location?
No, that's what we're still trying to find out.
All right.
I'll have better information towards the end of the day or tomorrow.
So when you find the location, I want you to visit the places. Every single place that she visits. You say that you have ears and eyes on the street, use them. Let them make them tell you where she goes, and then whether... No, I want you to do this yourselves, not some street urchin. They can't really be trusted that much.
Fuck hell.
I want you to visit those places. Find out where she goes, what she's doing there. Mark them on a map, ideally. And then, when we have enough evidence, we'll make our move. Says the witch hunter. I am saying this with the full authority of my order, so I expect you to follow this order to the letter. What's the word? To the full extent, right? To its full extent.
Yeah, something like that. But yes, we will we will do that for sure.
Very well. If you gather enough evidence, then we'll be able to do something about the Golden Triangle and perhaps about this Akner woman as well. I've never heard of her. I don't know who she is, but I want you all to understand one thing. She makes the point for emphasis gesture. Golden Triangle offers its services to quite a few noble people in Altdorf. And if that Akner woman is also from nobility, you must be careful. We don't want any scandal. We don't want any trouble, and we certainly don't want any semi-important or actually important noble family to start raising hell because they were mistreated, if you know what I mean. What I'm saying is that I want you to be subtle and use your guile instead of your brawn. And she looks at you, Gaston, when she says that.
I mean, that brawn could come in handy. He can throw a sack of potatoes pretty far.
True.
I'm sure that Sir Gaston's skills will be put to good use at the end of the day. You will be rewarded for your efforts. You have my word on that. Not only that, but you have the eternal gratitude of the Colleges of Magic, or the Order of the Holy Order of Sigmar, and probably maybe even the Emperor himself, when he finally returns home.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
I got some compliments. One, Shrek, you're always so friendly, and I appreciate that. Two, Magistrix, you're,
Yes.
I come in here, people looking at you like, oh, what's this? You big old wizard lady. You're really nice.
Thank
Three,
you.
Witch Hunter, I like cut of your jib. And I walk over to the window.
Mm-hmm. You walk to the window, and you can see the incredible, beautiful vista of Altdorf.
Is it a open window?
Yeah, you can open it. But when you try to open it, Magister says, please don't open the window, you will break the spell of concealment.
Oh, well, alright.
Too late.
Fuck
Shit.
this, I'm opening
Alright,
the
well, no, it's fine. Can I go outside?
Yes, we are done here, says Margund.
Yay!
I will send someone to your staying place with instructions on how to contact me with appropriate information.
Ooh, a dead
I
job.
expect all of you to get to work as soon as possible. When you're done and this whole mess is behind us, you will be richly rewarded, all of you.
All right.
Well, says Scorpion Shrek, in that case, that was, as we like to say in our college, very fruitful meeting. That, the other Magister and the Witch Hunter looked at him and they just, fruitful.
I get it.
Because he's a green wizard.
I get it, because he lives with trees.
Yes. But you can see that he kind of blushed. Sorry for that. Yeah, I need to return to my college. Archmagisterix, it was an honor once again. The honor was all mine, Magister Shrek. And you see to the Witch Hunter, he simply nodded. Lady Outman, and finally he looked at all of you, smiled. You see, genuinely, good luck. And with that, he leaves. The Witch Hunter.
Has it occurred?
Sorry.
Has it occurred to anyone else that the Green Magister's name is Shrek?
Yeah. Nice one. Finally, someone caught it.
No, I caught it. It was just
Although I did use the random names generator, it was just a coincidence, really.
That's not coincidence, buddy. That's fate.
The Witch Hunter approached the table once again. She produced a rather large sheet of tough leather, and she wrapped the dagger in the leather and hid it under her cloak. She looks at all of you. Well, Sigmar be with you. Best of luck. And she just, she only nodded to the old woman and left the room. You are left with Romilda Novitsky, who looks at you, smiles in this crooked way.
Is that the Magistrix?
Yeah, Archmagistrix. Some mess that you've gotten yourselves into, she says.
Well, it sucks, but what are you gonna do? And I walk over and I offer my hand.
She looks at it for quite some time. I mean, quite some time, like for a second or two. Then, places her very cold and metallic feeling hand inside your own.
Shake it. It's like, it's very nice to meet you.
I'm sure it is. Let's just
I-
make sure that will remain on good terms, eh?
I will make my way outside.
And with that, I presume all of you leave the room. Actually, as you approach the door open, and you see the silent servant who, makes the gesture of "please follow me," and leads you outside onto the streets of Altdorf. But for now, we are ending this game here.
Sounds good.
I had a thought there, and I kind of wanted to voice it to the party as we were walking out. Just be like, you always toss a coin for Randall, but I mean she was made of gold. What do you get if you toss her?
Well,
The world will never know.
that's a good question. All right, so for today's game, it was a long one. Everyone gets 70 points.
Okay.
For your characters, everyone gets 10 points. For religion, Gustav.
Um,
You were saying
Religion,
that you're a pacifist when you were arguing with Lambert. That was nice. I mean, Shalia and all that. But I didn't really saw anything else. Actually, Ronald.
Oh, I left the room when he was talking about blowing people up and.
Oh, okay. That's why you've left the room, right?
Yeah, and when I took a stogie, which he totally saw me because I was reaching for it, he saw me. I like crossed my fingers and winked, like making a joke.
So I'll give you 10 points total for your gods, for your religion. Johannes, what about you?
I don't think I did anything particularly Sigmar-y today.
Okay.
I don't recall anything. Does anybody else?
No, I honestly don't think so.
Yeah.
Lambert, what about your gods?
I don't. Aside from like mentioning Queensbury once, and aside from the I was holding off on the Randall thing until we had gotten off the college, so I don't really count it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gaston, the lady.
Yeah, well, I mentioned Grail Day,
Yes.
which is a holiday.
Yes.
So I mean, it's a mini thing that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I really mentioned the lady though in anything. So.
Let's say I can give you 5 points for that. The Grail Day was a nice touch. Now, star signs, Gustav.
The dancer. I wasn't gonna physically fight Lambert, but I was definitely getting back in his face, ready to fight, like argue.
Okay.
Because I didn't think he had any right to say what he was saying.
And the dancer is, let me see. Yeah, true. That's scornful. Yeah, sure. Is a lover, not a fighter, and promptly flees in horrible encounter. Sure, 10 points for you. Johannes, what about you?
The Piper. So I was trying to think.
Diplomatic, cunning, shady. 10 points. I saw it today a lot. Really.
Okay.
Yeah. You were very diplomatic. You, once again, I like to think of your character as the voice of reason in this party. Because if that would be Leopold, he would be already purged and clean.
Yeah, I would have been running around with oil and a torch.
Yeah. Can I be in your retinue, please?
Yes.
Yeah. So 10 points, of course. Lambert, what about your star sign?
Wyman the Anchorite, about caution. I realized my headspace was fucked and decided to take it out, all of my violence, on a sack of flour, that poor flour. And in the meeting, made sure to wait on. I wanted Gaston to corroborate what I had seen and to remind the witch hunter that we were meeting here as a collaborative effort, not to find who among us to be accused.
True. That's true. You were also rather, I think, tolerant of and patient today. When you've heard all the things during the long discussion, you were methodical, despite the the absurdity of your plan. This is a very well thought out plan, so I think it works. 10 points, of course. And Gaston?
It's the drummer. I drank that really, really strong alcohol.
Yeah, that's true.
And I smoked a cigar.
That's true.
And I threw a
And
potato sack out in 3.
Yeah, I'm leading him down debauchery. We're gonna do some fucking like frat house hijinks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very
This
well.
is this party is Gaston's Animal House.
Gaston
Yeah,
will end
exactly.
with a helmet, that's specially constructed. It will have like 2 smaller kegs on the sides
Right.
with those
Right.
with those straws coming through
Your
the
hat.
grills.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay, 10 points, Gaston, of course.
Okay.
By all means. And dooming, Gustav. What about your doom?
Thou shalt stop it from the cup of corruption.
I will give you 10 points. I mean the whole Marla thing, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, and the whole Marla thing, I honestly think that also the plan with the sewer jack, like coming from the sewers from the bottom, where the corruption is, that's something that I actually wanted to give you points for during our last session. So I will give you 10 points total for now. So like a max. Johannes, what about your dooming?
I'm going to find an old woman on the way home and choose a new doom.
Or Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I'll just yeah, that's what I should do. I should just get a peacock and abuse it.
Oh my god, no
Whichever
animal cruelty in my games. What about you?
Bludgeon a peacock to death.
If there's one thing I know about Johannes, he loves animal cruelty.
Yeah. And shoving shit.
Yes.
Lambert, what about you?
Thy tongue shall be thy undoing, and I think I practiced that
points.
very well with the whole Marla thing.
I mean, with everyone, with the Witch Hunter, with
everyone.
Magisterix, yeah, with everyone.
At this point, we're so deep in it that I don't think there's anything aside from straight out heresy that I could say that's going to get us into more shit.
Yeah.
But we just got like the equivalent of an emperor pardon from this witch hunter's agent. So
Yeah.
I think we're okay, guys.
10 points, and finally, Gaston, you're dooming.
Indulgence in thy dark desire shall end thee. So I mentioned
yeah,
the murdering thing,
yeah,
and the agreeing to throw shit in rats and
yes,
things like that.
that's
And
actually
I'm a bad influence on Gaston.
yeah, that's actually a good good role playing of your dooming. That said, that your, of course, father would not agree.
Right.
But
Well, he's not here.
But yeah, exactly. He's not here. The old bastard's not here. So who cares? 10 points for you. Now, any ideas that push the scenario forward? Actually, first of all, who came up with the idea of the street urchins, running errands? Because it finally paid off.
That's
today.
me.
So, Lambert, you get 5 points for that. Because you've gathered some interesting evidence that you were able to present to the witch hunter and the wizards, and it was your idea, Lambert. Anything else you think?
Did we do birthplace and I just forgot it?
Birthplace. Oh yeah,
We didn't.
Yeah, birthplace. We forgot about this. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so I don't
need
think
points.
any more ideas. But birthplace, Marienburg, Gustav.
Since my gang I was talking about.
Gang, and you
Yeah.
later said that the secession was not your fault. I really like that. So 10 points total for you. Johannes, your birthplace?
Well, at the end there, I was trying to be like, well, obviously they're trying to destabilize the entire empire by just doing stuff in
Yeah,
Altdorf.
very cool, very cool. Reikland is the most important province, of course. 10 points, sure. Lambert, what about you?
I had mentioned something about the only family I have left, like actual blood family I have left, is hundreds of miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And that, in that speech about this is my family, I don't want to lose y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing I can think of.
Let's say that's also 10 points. And Gaston, what about you?
Yeah. I said my birth sword, which is a Carsonian thing.
True. I also think that there was something else, I believe. I don't remember what, but I think that there was something else. Anyway,
I don't know.
10 points for you as well. No worries. And Lambert gets 5 points for making notes. For playing Halfling. And
I'll get 30 for notes.
And 30 points for notes. Yes, next time.
I'll try to have those posted by tomorrow.
Yeah. Wait a second. I need to. Okay. So anyway, this is it, guys. I need to. I need to finish. I have a call. Thank you all. I will write about further date soon. Bye bye.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.